Huzzah!
Yo!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 14, right, of Expedition Dracana.
13 was unforgettable.
13,
What
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. we open with a shot of Jimothy's corpse on the ground and the blood soaking into the soil.
Snow vine.
Yeah, the snow vine is nearby waiting for the command to be able to eat it, even though Furla said that it couldn't.
Yeah, it's gonna feed the tree.
And that is where we left off, was like basically standing over his corpse, and Alexei had like stormed off, right? Alexei was starting to call everybody out for stuff, and they were like, you need to go cool off.
Very upset.
Alexei stormed off.
Furla is having like a internal like conflict of like, what is wrong with these humans? I thought humans were like these great benevolent like mothers that took care of one another, and now like I just witnessed them all go on this crazy witch hunt and kill this man like before due process and whatnot. So Furla is a little bit confused.
Before due
Money,
process.
violin.
Fate token.
In case you missed it,
We need dice and fate tokens.
Alexei killed Jimothy because Jimothy, your Alexei had figured out that Jimothy was actually up here on this expedition to kill Corvus, Alexei's son, to tie up loose ends. And that if he would be allowed free at that point, now that everybody else in the party knew of his criminal past and that stuff had come to light, that they would all of their lives would
No more World 2.
At risk. At
would
peril.
be at risk, yeah. And to be fair, if Jimothy were kicked out of the party, he absolutely would have been a villain that I would have brought back, and you guys would have fought Jimothy. So it probably was a good call that you killed him rather than kicking him out.
That would have been really sweet too.
That would have been sweet. But that's just extra storylines, man.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It was good. It was good.
Well, Kirby started us off with our nat 20 gravity well here and got a 17. Should we go with that?
Wait.
Whoa.
Let us
I
have
feel
a
like
turn.
that's
So-
only in dire circumstances.
Question. I see there's a smaller, like, gravity well here.
That's the moon.
Okay, so do we have the viewers roll the moon and the players roll the gravity well?
Well,
I think
How that
that's
works?
cool. Let's
I'm
do
just
that.
I was trying to figure out what that was for.
I found
Yeah.
it under the table just a little bit ago.
I like
Cool.
the idea that the chat has its own gravity.
Well, chat rolled a 17 and then a 16.
Yeah,
Oh.
there is the element that the chat like can't necessarily do the thing of like stopping
Taking-
and the decision
right.
of the next, but I think the highest one from the chat should go to the gravity
Yeah,
well,
it's
and
just a
we think
satellite.
that generous contribution. You only get one roll,
17.
Nice.
so the rest of chat can roll with exclamation point D20.
Oh, right now it's sitting at a 17.
17, but we could roll the big one.
We shall.
We should.
If you're watching this on YouTube, sorry.
Whoa! I kind of think we should stay with that.
Absolutely.
A 17. He rolled a 17, so it's
Two
it's the
17s.
same.
Double
See, the
17.
thing is, I feel like
Both the
chat
planet
is
and the moon
rooting
are on
against
17.
us,
That's so
so.
precious.
I think
The stars align.
I think a bird should be. Wait. Okay. Wait. Boom. Josh, you have like a really tiny bird. I know that you do.
Well, there's one that's like flying that's up there that's pretty small, but it's not crazy tiny, but there you go.
Small enough.
That'll work.
Double bird. Double bird.
And thanks to Kirby for the 17.
Don't shoot the moon.
I think that's a 17 against us. I think they're rolling for the
The moon you'll land.
for Josh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Chat rolls for the GM. I like that.
And don't feel like because the moon is smaller than the planet that it's less important, because the moon is also like tides, and it's very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
I mean, I like it. It's cute.
And it's cute. It's so cute. Thank you for coming to my
This
TED
is a
Talk.
T-shirt idea.
The moon
Right
is
now.
important. Thank you for coming to my
Yeah.
Alright.
So, what are you guys doing? Alexei's stormed off. There was a conversation prior to all of this about Tay seeking out Furla to find the herb that Lhanji is looking for.
I think that we retconned that had already happened since it came up.
Oh yeah.
Furla was talking about it already. So
I mentioned it because I
that
thought it
happened.
happened, but I forgot that it.
But Ash
Probably
was will be looking for a chance to speak to Furla in private at this point. So I would imagine that.
Should it be private convo? Should we have people go outside for a...
I don't know if we want to like start right off the bat of that variety.
I'm cool with it,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, I got
I'm
stuff
cool with
to
it.
do. I can
Okay.
multitask.
Yeah. Like I think after a little bit, I mean, I feel like Ash would sort of like let because I imagine when someone storms off, there's always sort of like a little bit of moment of silence, and it's like I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go over here, and everyone sort of drifts away in awkward silence, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just beheaded a person, so I
We
think
did.
everybody might be a little introspective, right?
We did. So like after a little bit of time,
Someone
that's
we
sort of
traveled
like-
with, and while we may have not trusted, we definitely put our faith in.
Yeah, we were a companion of sorts.
I mean, Ash is feeling okay.
I
about
feel
it.
like the exact opposite is Lhanji's reaction to a beheading. She's like, now is the zenith of go time.
Yes. Yes. Check that off the list and move on to the
but,
next thing.
I do feel like it would be Lhanji is probably going to at least watch, if not interact with Alexi. Like that is probably the zone that needs the most immediate attention. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Uh-huh.
perfect opportunity for
Okay.
private convo.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. After some time passes, Ash seeks out Furla.
Yeah. And do we want it to be private, like other people not in the room?
I think it's gonna be private.
Yeah.
Other people not in the room.
Yeah. Okay. I can switch to just this camera.
Yeah.
So then we don't have to move.
It's already so juicy.
Yeah.
Oop, the other one. There we go.
0 action last episode.
Sure.
0 action this episode.
You could sit in that seat if you want to be. If you want to be in it.
I'll just be hanging out.
Daniel. All right.
You could have the keyboard if you want.
Oh, I actually don't have my glasses on, so
Oh,
I can't
okay.
read from there, but it's cool.
Just type letters. Blurs. All right.
I think Furla's looking for the herb when it.
Okay. Ash sort of comes over a little bit of a hill and very quietly. Furla.
Ash.
I need to talk to you in private. I know it's not a great time. I just don't know how much more time we have here, and there's something that I need to talk to you about.
Do you figure that you're next?
No.
Sorry.
What happened to Jimothy was unfortunate, but also it may be difficult to understand, but you can only play with fire for so long. And some people get what's coming to them. That's not at all what There's a tablet here in the grove.
A tablet?
Jimothy is actually, rest in peace. Jimothy is the one who came across it at first. He didn't know what it said, but I do. And I need to tell you what it said, because I feel like you might know a little bit more.
I need to see it.
It's this way. I lead Furla over by the tablet. And
Do we get
point to
any
it.
random encounters on the way or anything? I'm just kidding.
Creator's clear.
I point down and I say, Furla, can you read this?
Wipe the snow away and. No. I don't think Furla can even read anything.
The common language.
Yeah.
This. I can read this, and this is what it says. It says, "Here begins one who will walk the rings."
What?
Here begins one who will walk the rings.
Walk the rings? Like the...
I know not what this means, but do you know anything about what this may mean?
I mean, in the lore of man, the gods walked the rings.
Yes, that's true, but how could this be? One from here, and the only one from here I know is you.
I don't know if this is... I don't know what to think of this.
I know it's strange, and I don't quite know what to think of it myself, but I figured that you should know, and it would be best if we keep it from the others, just between you and me.
But surely I'm yes. We can do that. That can be done.
Jimothy was not so great at keeping secrets.
No, unless they were his own.
True enough. Will you think on this?
Wait, secret hide button. Secret hide! Secret hide! Sorry.
Will you think on this for me? And perhaps we will find answers as we go along, but I wanted to share it with you.
I mean, do you think it's a prophecy?
I don't know. It's written in a very old language. So it's been here a long time. That's correct, right?
I feel that I fear that I am the last to come from this grove, because I was found frozen, and I'm not sure that this grove is producing more of me as it's dying, like more like me. But if this is a prophecy, it may not point to me, and if it's an ancient one, it may point to ones that came before me.
That's a fair point. Well,
Frickle's not special. Refuses it.
Yeah.
Refuse the call.
That's a fair point you make. I'm somewhat of a, you could call me a gatherer of knowledge. And I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing here that I was missing. On that point, Furla, this grove, I feel like I've noticed, and it is dying, isn't it?
I feel that, and I hope that this seed can perhaps bring something to sustain it. It's done so in the past, or something.
Do you think it needs more? Does it need the ring? The ring fall?
Does that seem like something that would... Yeah, because it was feeding off of it before. I got that impression, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically ate it all, and now it's dying.
Exactly.
I think it would help. I think it could sustain it. I think a long time ago, some of the ringfall fell here and mutated whatever life was here, and it created this grove, and it's fed off of that until now. And so I think if we were to give it that energy again, that it might help it to survive. But I also know the greed in the hearts of men, and if I were to take such a precious thing from them, I don't know if we would survive to the end of our journey.
Believe me, Furla, I was the first to desire the ringfall. But at this point, I feel like I feel like this is a special place. And I think between you and I, we may be able to convince the others to at least store it here safely for a while for our return journey. I will help you in this if you think it would help.
I would be forever indebted to you.
I told you long ago that you have a friend in this group, and that still holds true.
The soft human heart. It breaks. A friend. Also noticing Ash's muscles.
I was gonna say. Ash's string bean. All right, he has 0 muscles. He's just layers and layers of cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We should get back. I don't really want anyone to be finding this tablet. It might be dangerous for them as it was for Jimothy.
Push snow over it.
Cool. I'll go
Yes.
grab them.
Sick.
Excellent.
Big emotional hug.
Jimothy was bad at keeping secrets out.
The triumphant return. Right, let's...
So, guys, I got bad news. Furla's dead.
Dang
Well,
it.
burned up. Real burned up.
Been torched.
I think it was the dragons, but we can't be sure.
He's like,
Well,
dragon attack.
if only there was someone who could have
Heal.
pointed all that out. Someone who might have been threatened previously.
Oh no. Yeah, does all the healing rest on Furla now? All the physical healing?
No, I have high academics. So
Oh, okay.
I have fair academics.
Okay.
I was gonna make my backup like that.
Lhanji went through CPR
I think
certification
narratively,
once.
Jimothy was handling the healing before, but there's academics to go around, so I feel like we can roll healing.
Yeah.
Right, but it was just better to have Jimothy to do it for a long time.
Gave him something.
Until we found out we could level up.
He was always such a butt about it.
Well,
he
that
was
was the
healing
best part,
too. That was
though.
the best part. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
I want to
Poor
miss that
guy.
voice.
he'll come back. Hopefully, in a slightly more pleasant and more depth.
Hey, if we add zombies to the world, you know,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
a real quick zombie ad.
Azor on high.
I was thinking for another campaign, making him a bit more light, like how
Alternate
Peter
universe.
Baelish probably should have been, rather than
Right.
it was in the show.
Mm.
Right. Yeah. Anyways,
Great character.
I guess Ash returns to camp, but I would imagine that Furla would continue their search for the.
Yeah,
The
I should
herb.
do that so that I don't forget this. But
Yeah.
looking for the herb,
Yeah.
the secret herb and spices. Can my Snowvine maybe help me?
I think that
Is that out of reason?
Taya's gonna help you as well. Maybe not directly, but she's also looking. I think that she
yeah.
got a description from
I
you.
would allow.
Yeah.
I would allow this.
Well, it's my companion, so maybe that's. I feel like that'd be cheating.
Oh wait, what are you
getting
gonna use for
getting a
it?
boost from
Survival or search?
I'm using survival, but I bet if you used search, that.
No, Tay has survival.
Okay.
When we leveled up, I gave her some survival. just to-
Okay. And then that would add a +1 to my.
Wait, did we get? Sorry, for our side characters, did we get +2 skills or +1 skills?
Plus
When we-
2.
+2 skills.
3 plus 2.
You okay? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna add 1 to what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, this is what he had at the end of it.
Right,
Athletics?
and big.
Oh, it's right. Because he's just like.
Could I have maybe made?
I don't think you have to roll it.
I know. I just wanted to roll.
Could I have maybe created
Fair
an
enough.
advantage at some point to doing this? Because I want to make sure this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this succeeds. All right, so creating an advantage with survival would be a 5 or a 4. Excuse me.
Yeah. I think a 4 certainly works for creating an advantage.
Okay.
I was looking for a 6 for the actual finding it.
Okay. So then the actual finding it. And that advantage I think was like creating some kind of bond with the forest and whatnot, connecting with it so that I can kind of like through the mice. Damn it, mushroom word.
The mice.
Mycelium.
Mycelium?
Mycelium
Yeah.
web or whatever communicating.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So that's not great.
Right.
I know. I'm like I can't.
It's mycelium. That's the little like.
Yeah.
Should I re-roll that?
Are you just creating an advantage right now?
Well, I already created the advantage, so the advantage would just like knock that out, and then I'd be at a 4, but I need a 6. I guess I could just spend a fate token then, and then be done with it. Yeah. Mystical Tundra Dryad.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
It hits all those things.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like, the herb? Come on, Josh. Should I describe it?
Yeah, I hadn't planned on what exactly it looks like.
I
I feel like there was some. You had some description of what it looked like, so that you knew what to be looking. Lhanji knew
Yes.
what to be looking for, but I had never given you that physical description.
It had a dank smell.
But
It smells dank.
it
Five
smells
leaves.
dank.
It's sticky.
Five,
it's
five,
purple.
5 leaves with jagged edges, and like the underside of them has like a kind of a purple, crystally growth. On
You're
the
good at
underside
this
of the
improv thing, man. Where are you learning this from?
Oh, it's an endive!
Oh!
It was an endive the whole
It was an
time.
endive all along.
The one
The
thing we
endive
didn't
was
have.
inside of us all along, actually.
Endive.
I like how you just like rip it out and pull it out.
Oh, you needed this? I return to Lhanji with a pouch full of the collected herb. Present it and say, I am not yet a mother, but I have come to understand the importance that humans cherish in their children, and I feel that one day I will create my own seed, and I will protect that seed with everything that I can do, but I've realized that it takes more than just a mother to protect the seed, but it takes the whole forest, and so this is my contribution.
At that moment, Tay runs up. We found it. We found it. We found it.
Yeah, you did
We found it. We were looking, and then we found it. So yowza. It's good work. We found it. So,
Whoa.
Puts out the cigarette. Yeah, we found it.
Lhanji is speechless, staring at the plant in complete disbelief that so much was found. And like probably her face phases through like astonishment and then like serious doubt, and then smooths back to normal show face.
Yes, the mask comes back on.
Yep.
I have every confidence in your future endeavors with your progenitors.
I'm about to plant my seed.
We can't wait.
And it's shimmering and golden and brilliant when I show it. It's like the box in Pulp Fiction. Where it's like, oh.
I think Furla should have said it exactly the way Furla said it. I'm gonna counteract that freezing calm.
But also, I have a question. Is Ash taken?
he's not.
I
He's
didn't-
not.
I didn't
Trust
think-
very much not, Taken.
I didn't think that he would be my type because he doesn't have any muscles, but I've found that he speaks with an eloquence of heart and mind that has warmed my heart.
Taste of. He's
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that in front of his
not
brethren.
taken. I can tell you this: he's not taken. He's never been one to. Let's just say he's just a. You know,
He's a virgin. Spit it out already.
Alexi from outside the camp.
Yeah.
Virgin.
He's like chopping wood off camera.
Am I still off screen? Sorry, I thought I came back.
I think that's a great
I like to
place
shout from off
end
I
it.
assumed when we came back in, we weren't back. Sorry, my bad.
I think that's a great
Tay tries to smooth. She says, he's often alone. We'll just take this.
Oh, I understand that. I was just curious.
The youth are resilient, aren't they, Alexian?
Oh, okay. So I actually,
You're-
I didn't
you're
know.
here,
You were like,
you said it.
You're,
here.
you're back in.
Okay,
I
cool,
want
cool,
it
cool,
for
cool.
Entering
canon.
screen left.
Yeah. Sorry. What did you say?
The youth are resilient.
I think that's exactly what we need in this harsh climate.
Perfect. True.
Alexi just reunited with his long lost wife, so he's
Yeah.
he's feeling the love.
I don't know. He's all over the place.
Yeah, emotions are high.
Speaking of the harsh environment, I must warn that the trek ahead is going to be the most grueling and cruel that we have seen thus far.
Lhanji, should we hunker down and make a plan or prepare ourselves, or should we, I don't know, head forth?
Well, we do have a little while longer to wait.
Yep, it's the 24th, and that's the 25th is when the planting day is. So
I don't think
Tomorrow.
Furla needs our assistance with their planting.
I guess just to dig a hole, but probably.
We should make it a lovely ceremonial hole.
Yes, you are all welcome to join, and I feel that the warmth that comes from this community will give enough to the seed to help it grow.
This feels weird.
I will. Be
Everything
there for
feels weird.
that.
Is this what it's like to have a family?
there will be a.
I wouldn't know.
You do have to perform a spell casting.
Okay.
A ritual ceremony, and it is going to be kind of like a high DC, so I will allow you to
yeah, I would definitely have to prepare for that.
create advantages for yourself.
I'll probably start
Whether
that
that's just
tonight.
like meditation or like whatever.
Yeah, I can come up with different skills. I can have them all be from a different skill.
Yeah,
It'd be easy.
probably if you had like 2 of them, you would be okay.
Okay. Is Ash nearby?
He's not near the group, no. I think he went back to his tent or whatever.
Yeah.
He's somewhat. Let's say he's near. He's
The Virgin
within
Valley.
earshot.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, totally.
I think Furlow would say something to the snow vine, and then the snow vine like pops up in the middle of Ash's tent,
Oh God!
unfurls, and then is like back. Because I don't know, it's weird.
Actually, I want to see exactly where this goes. This is the best.
You trying to communicate something with me? Ash follows. He comes out of his tent, sort of
It, like,
a little bit bewildered.
Slithers around down the ground.
Follows to see what. Just curiosity more than anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were playing Monster Hearts tonight.
Yes. No, this actually isn't going there, but maybe. Who knows? I'm rolling to turn Ash on. Monster Hearts.
What do you need, empathy or endurance?
Hot. You roll with hot.
I roll with endurance.
Evocation? I got a 5 in evocation. I don't know how that does anything. But your snow vine beckoned.
Yes, I wanted to bring up to everyone what we talked about.
What is that?
That this
Was it
planting of
worry?
this seed is happening tomorrow, and I believe that this forest was created. Oh,
Trying to keep
that's.
player knowledge and character knowledge separate.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm telling all of you this.
Okay.
I'm addressing
All right,
everyone.
cool.
This my seed needs to be planted tomorrow, but this forest, this grove is dying, and I feel that what created it in the first place and what has fed it for many years in this wasteland was a ring fall. that fueled its life, and I think that the energy and the power from that is waning. And if I plant this seed here in connection with the root-bound brotherhood, that this tree might die. It might drain the last of the power from the ringfall that created this grove. So I wanted to ask, to beseech the group, if we might contribute the ringfall that we found to this grove.
We spoke of this, and I know that I was chief among those who were interested in retrieving the ringfall.
And I would have never thought to even suggest it, but
I
Ash did.
feel as though that we have several large pieces of ringfall, and I have felt as well the power waning from this place. I think with the journey ahead, we could perhaps keep it here for safekeeping, and also help the grove to recover, perhaps.
And we may not live anyway, but the grove would. At least there's posterity in that.
I'm sure Jimothy wouldn't mind contributing his share.
Yes.
Well said, Alexi.
He'll be the
Well said.
fertilizer.
I will say that I feel as though we should take some with us still. Some smaller pieces. I feel that we may need the extra power in the days to come. But this place is, in our time here, I found this place to be important, and feel that we should do what we can while we are here. For who knows the next time this place will see another.
Ringfall. I bow to your expertise. It was icing on the cake. If we complete our mission without Ringfall, our profits will still be mind-boggling.
And we know where the ringfall was, and there was still much more of it. We can, if we survive the rest of the journey and the journey back, we can stop on the way back and retrieve more.
Highly doubted. I'm sure there'll be more frost giants that'll be heading to that site soon.
I feel if anything we can return to this spot and at that point take an assessment of the health of the grove. Perhaps take some of what is ours with us at that point.
Now that Alexi mentions it, there's no way leaving a deposit here would threaten the grove. Is there?
Not that I know of, right?
No, I mean you guys are ultimately kind of running on a guess, but that was something that I was wanting you guys to figure out, and like you did basically, right? That this grove definitely was created by Ringfall, wouldn't live in this environment otherwise.
Yeah,
and that
like
the Ringfall has run out, so that you have some with you. If you use it, I think even the Ringfall could be part of your advantages that you're getting for casting the spell. The Ringfall could be
One
Yeah.
of the advantages.
certainly one of them.
I feel as though with
And then narratively, I think it just is necessary for the grove to live, and for the tree that you're planting to like live and grow and to continue to remain healthy for years to come, because it needs more power. The grove's running out of power.
I feel as though with nature magic, Furla could adequately
Integrate it with
the environment so that it wouldn't pose a threat. I mean, dragons are not drawn to it, so we don't have to worry about that. And I feel like without any major fall from the sky, it would be alone out here forever, most likely.
I'm gonna take Lhanji aside for a second. Not like a super secret. You could like maybe hear us whisper. How do we know that they're not just gonna bury it here and try to take it for themselves when they come back later?
Oh, I don't think we'll separate ways after we reach the north.
But what if they were to split during an encounter with a dragon and they came back? They would be the only ones if they were to run while we were attacking a dragon. You know I can't just like leave our party behind, and neither could you.
Here's a rapport check coming in on Alexia. That
Yeah.
is a 5.
You could just say,
Nice.
"Don't worry," he believes you.
I don't know.
Will, yeah.
Probably not gonna happen. I would have to roll. What? You have a 5?
I do.
Okay.
Dang.
I have a 2, so
Marvelous.
I believe you.
Your paranoia has never served you.
I don't know.
Dang.
I've learned a lot of interesting things over the last day or so. I think my paranoia is well served, but I will defer to your judgment.
Your paranoia isn't what guided you to a timely execution of a traitor.
Are we sure that
Timely execution.
Are we
of
sure
traitor.
that-
I love it.
that was the only traitor in our midst?
I absolutely must insist that if you are going to bring such divisive thinking forward, you strongly consider your contract with me. You've recently been reunited with what remains of your family on this plane. You have other opportunities, and I encourage you to do what's best for you, but I can't have this kind of fraying mentality going forward into the most difficult push of our journey.
Okay. I knew this man longer than I knew any of you, and he turned out to be someone I couldn't trust at all. Do I think I could trust any of you now? Maybe. But I will definitely be keeping an eye out. That said, I would think you'd want someone who wasn't just a blind yes man who would follow orders. I would think you'd want someone who would want to challenge you. But, again,
Over
I
the shoulder at
understand.
Navia's.
I understand. Chain of command. I will defer and follow your orders.
I appreciate your vigilance, but vigilance combined with a clear thinking mind is the true element in...
Are you saying I'm getting emotional?
I know you're emotional.
Fine. I'm gonna cool off. Sit by the campfire with a dwarf.
The silent dwarf.
Start
Eric is
poking.
cooking.
Meanwhile, we're all like 5 feet away, just staring at you guys, like pretending to whisper to one another. I can hear you. I'm right here.
I'm gonna go to Tessa.
Yes. Can't
All
wait.
right.
Here it goes.
Yes.
New character hype.
New character hype.
What is it? I don't believe we've met.
It's Tessa of House Gerard. Thank you very much.
Many pardons.
No offense taken. What do I owe the pleasure?
Well, what are your inclinations at this juncture? Are you going to take Alexei away from me?
Oh, I think he's pushed himself away from me far enough. He's all yours.
Well, then there's no fun in a chase.
Although I am a bit of a competitive person.
We could use that. I dare say Alexei could as well. He's eager enough to butt heads with me. I wouldn't mind a buffer.
While I am elated to finally have reunited with him as my only connection with Corvus, I am a bit conflicted. I don't know how long I could stand being with that man. As I'm sure you've come to learn, he has a bit of grating personality.
Oh. It's a
back to
fair
episode
price
1.
to pay for his loyalty and quick thinking.
Giant sword.
Alright,
He
then.
has not faltered at any step of this journey when he was needed.
Alright then. I don't want to see him come to harm, but perhaps there's something you could do to sweeten the deal for me.
Oh, absolutely. This is where I shine.
I I hear your excuse me, losing my voice. I hear you're handing. I'm just gonna do a normal voice. Won't go for it. I hear you're handing out contracts, like you're handing out death sentences. Perhaps I could get some cash my way.
Lhanji goes into the fold of her jacket, pulls out Jimothy's contract, rips the top off, writes Jess's name in, hands it over.
I'm not one for sloppy seconds, but it'll do. Now tell me more about this this journey. Where are you headed?
Well, we're attempting to breach the North Pole, witness whatever occurs at the end of this dragon migration.
She doesn't. Sorry, she doesn't even know what's going on with the group, does she?
No, just came in. Just only saw the Jimothy portion.
Yeah.
Now I do know.
And then slept with Alexi and was like, "All right, what the fuck are you guys doing again?"
We'll resolve this pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I just
Yeah.
hadn't
I think
realized
that
that.
Yurik said that he had that conversation with her
oh, it did. Oh, well then.
on their walk back.
Okay.
Like just generally explaining
Oh,
what
right.
they were there
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Right.
well in that case.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear you're headed directly to where the dragons go. I don't know, however many number of years.
7 years.
Headed to where the dragons are. That fool is going to put himself directly in the line of danger. I suppose I'll do my best to keep him out of trouble.
We welcome any skills you can bring, but most particularly skills at handling Alexi.
Well, I've spent a few years out here in the wilderness.
Yes, you're so close already. Why not? Just take the final steps.
That fool Alexi, now I remember what I was going to say, has it in him that he wants to try to finish the journey that Corvus was trying to make. I have no interest in marching to my own death, so I'll do my best to keep you all alive.
That's the spirit. I, for one, certainly intend on returning.
I guess follow you if you're headed back to camp. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm headed to camp.
Yeah. Anything else you guys have to do that day before the next day and the planting? I mean, creating some advantages, we were saying, and
Yeah.
that I would give you the ring fall as an advantage
Okay.
if you're using it.
Cool.
You're certainly gonna get.
So I got a hunk of burning magic.
Yeah, we collect the ring fall. Tay absolutely introduces herself to Tessa. Seen another, like, as soon as Lhanji comes back to Tessa, Tay's like, oh, hi, I'm Tay.
Deputy Lhanji.
I'm sure Lady Free has told you of me. I'm sort of the,
She has not. Go ahead. Go
Well,
on. She talked about quite many people, in fact. I don't know if she mentioned you. Perhaps she was saving the best for last.
This
must
is a
be
hard,
a-
wild woman.
a slight mishap. I am Tay Talesian. I am Ash's older sister, so I'm here to keep him in line, and also to learn from Lady Free. I'm a bit of a sort of her protege, as some may say. Yeah.
Brown noser, huh?
I'm also in way over my head and have seen many people die. So I'm trying to keep a cheerful face, but I have a feeling that we are all marching to our doom. So welcome. Thank you for coming.
We can always use a bard. Great. Nice to meet you.
Enchantress, thank you very much. I do not. I'm not some sort of
Oh, excuse me.
street busker.
Excuse me. My mistake.
Absolutely. Well,
Very nice to meet you.
a simple mistake. Very nice to meet you.
I'm sure we'll get along well swimmingly.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna create some advantages.
Okay.
If I can math it
Yeah.
for a second. So I'm gonna use survival to find the best place to plant it. Like a place where like another tree has recently fallen and is dying and like rotting or something, and there's mushrooms and something like that.
Sure.
So fertile ground. I have 4. That I got a 4.
Cool.
And
Are you going to use nature magic for this?
yeah,
So when Ash leveled up, I gave him some nature magic.
ooh,
Just because I
get some
feel
aid.
like as like the journey has gone through and he's seen Furla use this type of magic, he's like sort of
I see.
he's been a little obsessed with like this type of magic that he's never come across before, right? I feel like it would be not a thing that would necessarily be widespread in Deppen world.
Flashback montage to Furla teaching Ash like a few things.
Yeah, along the ride, sort of like he would maybe
Gotta be
ask
like-
a few questions,
Yeah.
and I feel like as when he hit the ring fall, and now with the
Stepping
ring
behind
fall,
him,
he felt like
doing
new-
moving the hands like
Yeah.
the golf
Yeah.
swing, right? No, like this.
Ash is very okay. No, I feel like with the recent like addition of Ringfall, just like within his near close to his body, he's felt sort of like new sort of magic, like things he's seen suddenly started to become, intrinsic with him. So
New
I will be
magics.
able to roll as well to
Sweet.
+1 you on that one.
Can I do one more advantage? Yeah, I'm gonna enter a meditative state with Will. Meditate overnight with my feet like buried in the ground and the snow vine like making some roots that are connected to me, so that I'm like super rooted.
Root bound.
Root bound.
Oh no, you don't
That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not good. That's a 1.
Well, I wanted to try to use empathy to make an advantage for Furla of
I
like
mean, I wouldn't
the-
say no to that.
team supports you.
Yes.
Lhanji will conduct the rest of the party.
A rapport.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like rapport.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, I'm better. at that.
Oh, I critted. That's a +8.
Yes.
Damn.
Nice. Nice.
A double
Very
blob,
cool.
but a double blob can't.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, just go ahead.
It won't help you. Alright, so yeah, this whole night Lhanji is shooing people away whenever she perceives Furla needs space.
What
Yes.
if we do a house rule on the like, the double thing?
If it's all for a single roll.
Yeah, if it's all for a single roll, then it's like basically it's a +3 instead of a +2.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that's good.
Cool.
You're using both of them, but it's not a +4 because that's
That's
a little
crazy.
crazy.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
box +1 kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Alright.
box +1. And what do you think that's like words of encouragement or like what would you call it?
I want some
The team
really
has
like,
your back.
yeah, I want some really corporate jargon.
Yes.
Synergy.
Synergy.
Yes, team synergy.
Yes.
Synergy support.
Let's show
SEO.
our pride.
Here cooks. He gets a +4.
Yeah, because he
We
has
all-
a 4, right?
We all eat really well.
Mm-hmm.
Team synergy.
Yeah. Speaking of,
You know, Yurik, this has been a great chat.
you
I
guys
feel like
have
we're really bonding this episode.
This episode in character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kitty called it. My will failed because the vine keeps tickling my feet,
Aww.
and I have trouble
It's,
concentrating.
Yeah,
it's like a
I
puppy though. It's like
It
trying to
is.
help.
It's like,
It's like,
but
oh,
I
you're
love
just
you
not
so
helping.
much.
Yeah.
It's like cooking with children.
the vine is getting
I
like
mean,
a
you're helping, but
sibling.
also
Daniel texted me
Yeah,
the
that's-
manifest with like the information
Oh, good.
Confusing.
on it, and he
guys.
also texted me a set of
Hello. No.
a set of dice for a cooking roll. So it seems like a fitting time.
Yeah,
like your,
yeah,
your,
yeah,
your last
absolutely.
night in the Grove.
Cookie does.
He
up
cooks
a thing
for
over
you
there.
guys some what is it? Grilled rosemary parsnips with nuts, dusted with powdered Kalima cheese.
Yes.
Kalima
Ooh,
goat
special
cheese.
Kalima
tonight.
cheese.
Special
Powdered
tonight.
Kalima goat cheese. So
Right.
it was like dried. Yeah, and then
Hell yeah.
This is like- I feel like it was specified that Kalima. I guess it was specified that Kalima is no longer milked. Like has graduated beyond that level. So I'm like, this is a really special.
Well,
This
well,
is
it's cheese
vintage.
at that point, so it's like, who knows how
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
been.
maybe ancient. But I got the impression that it wasn't that Kalima was like done milking, but
She was just
That's what
done
I think.
having babies.
yeah,
Which, okay, we're yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that goes
I
hand in
guess
hand,
that
does
makes-
it? Right.
that makes
okay.
sense.
Do goats
Yeah.
have menopause?
Well,
I never thought.
No, they have
about that.
hooves.
If you're not having babies,
I don't get many
Oh,
puns, so I
Manahooves.
just had to
it's good.
mena
It's
hooves.
good.
good.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bump set and you spike.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, but also question: can I get an advantage from Jimothy's corpse?
Well, he
It's
donated
fertilizer. He's fertilizing
The
it.
ringfall.
I feel like that's an
I got the ring
aspect
fall.
of the environment that you would have to pay to use.
That I have to pay. I'm cool with paying. I will gladly.
yeah.
I will gladly pay to invoke Jimothy's
I would allow that.
Jimothy's corpse.
I would gladly.
Maybe
pay
we should,
to
maybe we
invoke
should
him.
burn it. What if it comes back as an eldritch horror due to the ringfall?
What if we just throw
He's
it
dead. All of his
rainfall?
badness is gone.
Yeah,
He's now a husk.
he's just organic
Mm-hmm.
material.
That's why there should be no moral complexity to eating these things. Just organic material at this point.
Thank
Please
you.
don't-
But I
This is
respect
Furlow's
your
TED Talk.
boundaries. Yes.
Please don't tell me Furlow's gonna do it now.
I do think when I was gonna go there, but I cut it short. But the conversation of like it's about to get really crazy, maybe asked you guys like how much of humans you guys are willing to eat. Like if it's just hands, like are hands okay? Like are like arms? If the arm is like totally frostbitten off, can we eat it? At what point do you draw the line with humans, right?
I feel like Navius can talk you through.
I don't care for man meat.
Yeah, I think Navius has a like very neat hierarchy of like if we are in these starvation,
Yeah.
you like this level of starvation threat yields this level of
Horses are
acceptable
okay,
human consumption.
All right.
Furlow's very distracted when Navius is talking to him.
All right.
Soft human teenage heart.
So
the morning?
Yeah, the next day, the 25th sickle.
Should I bust out the calendar?
Calendar height.
It might take an extra second because I had other things on that screen.
Oh no.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
It's not that important.
Pre-hype
the
calendar.
The 25th sickle.
okay, we'll come back.
I was thinking about this earlier. If all of these druids all around the world are planting this seed at the same time and performing this ritual, how do they like know when to line that up? If they're all around the world, it would be like a different time of day. It would be really complicated, right? But whatever that time is, you
I
know
feel like-
you know when it is, and
I
they
feel like
know
the
when
seed
it
has
is.
to like light up or something.
Like the Brotherhood would probably like have that all figured out, right? And send
Yes.
people out be like, "This is your day
Yes.
at this time." Kind
Yeah,
of.
Yeah,
this
if-
day at this time, and if you're in this temple, it's
This
this,
day at this
time.
time, yeah.
They use the local almanacs and they sync it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a team in there feeling like.
If
okay,
anyone would be able to pull it off, it would be the druids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. They
yeah.
figured it out. They put it on their Google Calendar and they accounted for the time zone. So then everybody else's Google calendars are set.
Right, right.
Thank you, Google,
All right, Scott.
for ruling our lives conveniently.
Sponsorship.
Sponsored by Google.
Yeah. So
Do no evil.
planting this seed, I was seeing as a legendary, right? Which is an 8.
All right.
So I think you should be fine with your things that you've prepped.
That's my chanting. Jackie!
And you guys have how much of the ringfall are you like putting in here versus how much are you keeping?
I think that
75%.
yeah, I think that the large pieces, Ash has put
Keeping the
ringfall
small.
all through his cloak and is not removing it. But I
Mhm.
think the large,
It's got
sort of the
grills.
large pieces,
Yeah.
that we didn't like stuff in our pockets and stuff. I
Okay.
think would be the things that we're burying.
Okay,
so I
gotcha.
think at that point it was like 3 large chunks basically that we had it in. I
think it was.
We had a bunch of like 5-pounders,
or maybe
and
like
a
2
couple-
large chunks and then a bunch of like
Mhm.
random stuff. So I would say at least the large chunks. And
Yeah,
then,
that's good enough.
I
To
wouldn't
keep
know.
track of
I
it.
was busy pulling corpses out of the snow.
we don't need to be
Sorry.
bitter about it.
That's over. Behind it. It's behind me.
Yeah, so that's
I'm holding on to one like 5-pounder piece, the smaller piece.
Yeah.
But I gave up my share.
I think that's what it was. Is it was so many. I don't know if it was like 7 25-pound pieces, and then it was like 5 5-pound pieces.
or the other way around. Something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a smaller amount of but yeah, I feel like we probably, you know, I don't know, do you think that we buried all of the pieces like around the seed?
Yeah, I think
Stops.
I think there's a big hole dug. The way I'm seeing this is like a big hole, and then there's like kind of like a runic circle that's been drawn around the hole, and like branches and twigs and rocks and stuff like that. And Furla's like walking around it and like doing like kind of like a dusting of some kind of magic fertilizer and like chanting and walking in a circle. And meanwhile, inside at the bottom of the hole, Jimothy's corpse is being like broken apart by the snow vine in order for it to be more easily made into fertilizer, right? Like all
I'm gonna do one for you.
God.
And then we're sort of dropping these large pieces.
Yeah,
of-
you've got the big piece in there, and yeah.
Cool.
And it's the fertile ground, so it's like the perfect spot where like this tree has recently fallen, and there's like a bunch of like recently decomposed, like it's very rich, fertile. And we've got this perfect team synergy. Everybody's holding hands. I think.
God.
I think that's pivotal to it. Everybody's holding hands in this circle. And
Excellent.
and
Bound hands with ribbons.
Yeah.
and here we go. That's all the description I got. Anybody want to contribute anything?
Feels like a marriage ceremony.
It's closer to a childbirth.
I think also Furla has put some sort of
And
like
wow.
like weird like wooden like kind of crown sort of
I
things
wonder
around.
Yes.
I feel like she's dressed up everybody in a kind of ridiculous
Yes.
way that
They
they're
all have
all feeling
tiaras.
like this is just absurd.
Yeah.
But you're like it's
Yeah.
really
It's
important
super
ritual.
important.
To evoke
Yeah.
the growth of the trees.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of
Yeah.
leaves tucked into the crowns and
Mhm.
stuff
As
too.
we're
yeah.
standing
Berries.
here, we're very aware of how cold it is. A cool wind is cutting
Yeah.
through the clearing.
We're all
Yeah.
wearing like leaves in our.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ash loves it.
She's putting
Yes.
pine
really
needles in
into it.
Alex's
He's like,
beard.
I'm keeping this.
Yes.
This is sick.
Tessa's like fastidiously trying to fix them to say, be respectful.
There's like a strange amount of animals that have like gathered. Right?
Nothing lives out here.
I know it's.
Snow hares.
Yeah, there's a Arctic foxes, right?
Right,
Those like
right.
little tiny
Yeah,
like.
yeah. The things that
Maybe a
jump
werewolf.
into the snow.
Yeah.
And they change colors.
All right, and here's my roll. Come on, chat, give me some love.
All we got is Doc Swag saying, "I want this to go poorly."
Yeah, we know.
no.
We know.
Oh no.
We know how our chat views the lives of our characters.
Yeah, Disney princess. That's what I was seeing too, Kitty, with all the animals.
I think this is good. Since I did get a
Kirby.
+1
That's
for Liz Disney princess.
Do not blaspheme.
The first genderless
Warning.
Disney princess.
Aww. I'm gonna cry.
Good.
I know. I'm a plant.
All right, so plus
Because-
one from Ash.
They look so
Okay.
I feel like Ash
So I'm at a-
is there right next to Furla and just sort of like attempting to like put as much power through their hands as possible.
All right, so then that is a 2 plus a 4 is a 6. 8, 10, 12.
Yeah, crushed it.
Hell yeah. I just love it. I would love it if the image was literally just like you put a seed down and put some water.
Like,
Put some water.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
there we go.
It actually doesn't look impressive.
There's
to
no
anyone
like,
at
there's no
all.
like blast
and there's
of
no
light or
grand
anything. Yeah.
thing. And then Furla just at some point is like she's doing this ritual, and then it's just like, okay, it's done.
Collapse.
Yeah, I think just cries a little bit.
Is that it?
I hope so.
Well
You know,
done. Well done, Furla.
We did
Tesla
well.
speaking. I'm still
I could not have done
cracking the voice for you.
without you all.
Never mind.
I now know what it is like to birth a child in the human fashion.
No. But you have done very well.
Thank you.
Probably similar to my experience. A bit underwhelming, if you will.
I mean, I did lose an arm. That's different.
Do it.
At a
You
different
wear
time,
it so
but
well.
At this point, it's got like a couple leaves.
Oh.
A little twig with.
All right.
Well, Furla, hand on shoulder, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you, Lexi.
You finally entered parenthood. Hopefully your progeny will not yell at you someday and run away, but...
In the village, I. Sorry.
Go ahead. In the village?
I hope-
In the village, you were saying?
I have a feeling that it won't. But there are definitely differences between raising a tree child and raising a child. I feel like in the village, I saw so many babies and children, and they seemed so useless. How is it that someone would just birth a child and then let it roam free and it would survive? It seems like it wouldn't work.
Well, Furla, eventually someday you will have to let, as we all have, let your child get up and walk on their own two legs.
Oh, I intend to tomorrow. Or right now.
You have to let them grow, and I guess in your case it's going to be very soon, but it's all a part about being a parent. You have to do your best to prepare them for the life ahead of them, and you'll have to let them make their own mistakes, and you may even get into a few arguments. I don't know how your, parenting relationship will work out, but just know that, there will be an unbreakable bond between you and your seedling or child. Try to be respectful.
Yeah.
Lexi. I'm trying.
I love Chestnut.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Holy shit.
Anyways, congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Yes. Let's let it stand on its own 2 feet, as it were. I think you've done all you can do.
I think so too. Many thanks for giving up what is very precious to you in this stone.
Does it have a name? Still figuring out the voice, so go for it.
I like it. That was good.
Yeah.
I was wanting to do Catelyn Stark, but
I don't know how to get there.
I don't know.
I don't remember the voice.
I think that the idea of a name, I was given a name by a human woman, and I do not know if I were raised in the natural fashion of this grove if I would ever have had a name. So I think I should let it find its own way on that one.
Name it Jimothy.
Name it Goldtooth.
Absolutely not.
You can't control other people?
Timothy's broken,
So culturally insensitive!
rotting corpse underneath the tree. Oh, it will go down in canon. It will go down in the lore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this world, actually, it is pretty common for many of the elves that live in the forest to perform similar rituals where they will bury, they'll like plant a tree on top of somebody that they bury.
Yeah.
With the idea of that person's life kind of being continued on into the tree, right?
Cool.
Awesome. Are you guys ready to roll out from the crater
Heck yes.
and begin the trek?
The final
Yes.
ascent,
Mm-hmm.
or the penultimate ascent.
And I do want to specify Lhanji has stashed the plant in the most, high-tech...
A leather pouch.
Yeah, undergarment hiding place possible.
Keeping it on
the
herself?
plant, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Half on her, half on Navius.
Okay.
Nice. I like that.
Sounds good. Awesome. So you guys are going to be encountering some kind of environmental hazards here, I think. And we're going to be using up like food, and like if you guys need to scavenge to get like food, it's going to be hard. Cooking's going to be hard.
Okay.
Go ahead. You
I
got a
was just
question?
about to say that happened right in the morning then, right? So like we probably at that point just pack up,
I think so.
head out,
Mhm.
off we go.
And just to move forward, yeah, so on the kind of late morning of the 25th sickle, you guys head off into the forlorn waste and into just a white, vast, windswept plain that is just really, in many cases, there's no there's no like geography or anything to protect you from wind at all, right? When you're sleeping at night, you're trying to like sleep around the wagons as much as you can and put your tent, but it's just like relentlessly being blown by the wind. It's like inescapable, the cold. And I think the first like kind of challenge that you guys face is a blizzard. That's gonna require a couple like checks to navigate. And I'll kind of allow you guys to come up with whatever checks that you want to do, but I'm seeing it as like three checks. Whoever wants to make them as like in a basically a DC 6, and thinking like, you know, survival or nature to like not lose your sense of direction in like a white out blizzard. Evocation could be used probably for like keeping warm against the cold or something.
Yeah.
Rapport for morale, so on. Like whatever you guys are feeling.
Yeah.
Just gonna need.
I think those three might be really good. So
Yeah.
survival,
I can do survival.
survival to keep our way, evocation to keep warm, and then rapport to keep spirits.
Mhm. And also, I feel like these things. This is coming a little more clear to me now. These like party challenges, when it's like the whole group and people are rolling just in that way. I think in those cases you can't. That's not stress. I think that's kind of more like you're passing it down. It's consequences that you're passing down if you're missing the DC or you're spending fate points to
Similar
try.
to the
Because
dragon.
otherwise, if it's stress, you recover the stress because you're
Yeah.
traveling and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't recover the stress at this point. There's no like resting spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going right to consequences.
Exactly.
All right.
What's our
But you guys
number?
have all basically all your
6, I
fate
think.
points at this point. So yeah, it's a 6.
And this is like a challenge where we have to get a certain number of successes, or we're all defending against the 6, but with different skills.
I think that's more so the idea is that you're all defending.
Yeah.
With a 6, and it's using different skills.
Okay.
But yeah, however. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start us off. Yes.
Damn!
Wow.
Nice.
Critical.
Yes.
Furla
Awesome.
knows where they're
That
going.
probably creates an advantage too, then, huh?
Yeah, I bet. Does it create an advantage or a boot?
Yeah, I mean a boost.
A defense. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll create a boost
Mhm.
of.
On
Yeah, maybe if it's survival, so it's like navigating this thing,
Mhm.
and I think Furla has found like this kind of cliff face that we're like traveling along, that like the wind is like basically sweeping over it,
Mhm.
and we're like traveling along it, so it's
Mhm.
not as cold.
Mhm.
So anybody could invoke that boost.
nice.
That's a boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, protective, or what do you call it, a wind break?
Why do you want to kill Dolph so bad? He made it out. He made it out, guys.
Like retroactively
Probably-
killed Doll.
Better than Amelia and Hero, but
I like to think
Yeah.
Dolph finally found true love and caught syphilis and died.
At the old age of 78. All right. Ashes is basically trying to, like, periodically throughout the day, just like conjure up a flame dome that sort of like keeps off the snow for a while
Mhm.
to sort of like allow everyone suddenly like they're in a furnace basically to warm up. And
It's like at the water park, the like big standing
Yeah,
things
just-
to like dry off.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just sort of pushes the weather away for
Big heaters.
Furla to find the path and then to keep everyone warm. Oh shit! Oh no! You said a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
You could use the boost that Furla has created.
Good.
Yeah, I'm going to use the boost. I'm at a 3 right now.
So I'll get you to 5.
That'll give me a 5, then I'll spend a fate token.
Oh, yeah.
Gifted young Dracologist who can improve himself.
Sorry, I'm rolling a cooking roll for Daniel. Because I think it's probably the next day. Like the 25th, you guys traveled, you slept, and used some more food. And now you're encountering this blizzard. And you got it, what, by tapping that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So one more success will do it. What are you doing? The rapport kind of morale approach?
Do you want to teamwork me?
Yeah.
Give me a +1? Or
Are
is
you
it
doing rapport? I have. Oh yeah, rapport. Yeah. Good. Alright, cool. I'll definitely. Oh, I just.
I'll be good cop and you can be bad cop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6.
Awesome.
Hell
Money.
yeah! Nice.
Awesome.
Get your ass moving!
Oh, a 7 with Alexi, yeah.
Yeah! Damn.
Nice. Great. So you guys that day overcome the blizzard.
Nice. Keep forging ahead.
Mm-hmm. I think another. Let's see. I think it's probably going to be another couple of days before something else. So I will roll for Daniel for cooking for those 2 days. Okay, so far you guys are down 10 food. Out of I think 20 is what you guys have been carrying in your wagon. So you've used half your food. I think that's correct. I'll double check that.
Oof. Can I maybe go look for some food?
Maybe this day, yeah.
Well, it's in the middle of a blizzard, so.
Oh,
No,
played the blizzard.
You guys
passed the
made
blizzard.
it
Okay,
through the
sorry.
blizzard.
Now
You made it through the blizzard, and
2
I
days.
did like two more days. So it is now the 29th at the moment. And yeah, you can totally scavenge.
Okay. Does anybody want to go with me?
Navius will go with you.
I need them numbers.
Tessa has +4 survival.
And
she'll go with
it's
you.
also
Hell yeah.
it's also going to be a DC 6.
Dude, Tessa's like that late game Final Fantasy character that's just like way up, like super high level.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
like,
That's the only thing I knew for sure because she spent how many years out here, so clearly
Yeah.
she would have adapted.
oh yeah,
A year.
totally.
Maybe she
Okay,
should lead the. She should lead them, and I'll aid. Because she knows this place better than I.
No.
I have the same number, so
That's the
you,
same.
you might as well roll then.
All right.
I rolled survival, so
Fine.
So I'm giving you a 1. Navy's giving you a 1.
What do we need,
I'm
what do we
honestly
need
still
for?
trying to figure her out, so I'm like,
I like the trouble.
Yeah.
It's read very well already.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's a compelling trouble.
What's the trouble?
What is it?
I got a 4.
Can't help but be honest or blunt.
Ooh.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
I feel
Like
like
I already was like kind of cutting down a little bit, but it was like just because I'm more like call it like I see it. And
Yeah.
whether that gets us into
I think
trouble
that's
or
perfect for like that. That seems to be like if she was ever in a relationship with Alexi, like that would be.
Yeah.
not. That would have been the
Really
person
good.
to,
Have to
to
pick
keep
one.
that idiot in check.
Yeah, yeah.
That linebacker.
How much did you get?
A 4. I rolled a
So
neutral.
You got 6 then with the 2
Yeah, with
boosts.
the
Alright, cool. So 6.
Okay, cool. And you need 3 successes in order to be bringing food back.
Okay.
So you'll need to do 2 more of those. Well, actually, yeah, and then I guess I roll separate, like attack defense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just go ahead and roll 3 of them now.
That'll be an 8 on the next one.
Nice, got it.
Damn.
And then it's those boosts, man. That last one would be a 5.
Yeah, so you don't have enough on the last one. So you'll either need to use a fate point or make another roll, which means that I'll get like another attack against you.
I just throw a fate point. I need
Okay.
to get fate points anyway.
Yeah, 4, 5.
Have we healed all our fate tokens?
I think they replenish.
Yeah, we
after
get all
the-
of them back.
I remember
Just
I remember
not many
spending
that
one
you were-
last. Okay.
Yeah.
then
Yeah, at the beginning of every
You're
session, we
back
get them all back.
sometimes.
Unless Josh says otherwise.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sucksy.
Okay, cool. Keith, do you have those photos queued up?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that
Here, I'll pull it up on this screen. You can
that
tell
first
me.
one, that the quadruped creature.
I don't like that.
Not that one.
Josh
I
is
didn't
speaking in
actually
code.
Yeah.
Threatened.
This
The
doesn't feel
quadruped
good.
creature.
Is
I'm
this
glad
what-
it shows spite then.
This one?
Yeah.
It looks cute from a distance.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this cute?
Are you guys
It looks
ready?
like a dragon Great Dane or something.
This thing.
Dragon Dane.
Yeah. It is, well, I guess we don't have a big screen of it here. But it is, I can't think what this thing was called. I actually found this on DeviantArt. I was, like, just looking for cool, weird monsters. Icy, polar region monsters. I was really, really sad to see that, like, Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder actually had almost nothing for this sort of an environment. It was kind of crazy. So I went online and looked at this weird creature. I didn't even bother to name it. I don't know if you guys even know what the heck
Here,
it
we'll
is.
do,
It is from, what is it, Endless Realms or something like that?
Yeah.
It's a pen and paper, like D&D like game.
Why did this
in this
screen
artwork.
get all messed up again?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's not cuddly. Yeah, totally. It kind of looks like a sloth. Or
Yeah.
not a sloth, but like a anteater kind of
the long
thing.
claws and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's this creature, and it's got like a fight of 6 attacking you guys.
Alright.
So of the like people that are on the, you don't have to roll all the defenses. Anybody
Yeah, yeah,
can, right? But the first attack that's coming at you guys is a 7.
I can defend with fight. I have a +4. I think that's high. I think he has the highest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yuck. Yuck. Garbage trash. That
Oh,
put me at a
reroll.
2.
Mmm.
Reroll that puppy?
Keep in mind, we got a bunch of NPCs here that you can always pass something off.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I defending on this too? I'm sorry, I was adjusting this.
We picked a single defender.
I was just
Okay.
saying that somebody could, and she decided to with an AVS.
Okay.
Do
but
you
didn't
have
roll
a
well.
defense higher than +4?
No, I have a
Yeah.
3, but I do have like tough as nails thing,
Mhm.
which could be helpful. But
Mm.
you could take this one. I'll take the next one.
Okay.
Thornback Tundra Bear, I love it, Dr. Swagbelly.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like the suggestion of Reddit imaginary monster. I've never been there, but I bet is full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a rhino, even, with all the weird... Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a thornback.
I feel like it was called like a
Maybe like a
That is a
thornback-
magic
a
card.
gulo.
I'm
A
gonna
thornback
pay.
sloth, maybe?
Venerable Court Swordmaster is thrilled by a new challenge. I'm gonna re-roll.
All right.
I'll post the link.
It's just a +4. That reduced it.
Yeah. Okay. So you were off by 3. Mm-hmm. So right now you're looking at like a moderate consequence.
White, green, blue.
Which I feel like it's moderate consequence for your main character, normally if you're passing it off to like your main NPC, it's like one step more, so it would be like a severe consequence for a main NPC. Yeah, that is what it is. That's the rule. And I think for a supporting NPC, you guys do have Babs as the last supporting NPC. I feel like trading a moderate consequence is probably like well, it's worse than severe, right? So it's going to be at least an extreme consequence where Babs would be like useless, if not dead.
Yeah.
If you wanted to trade it, that's what you would be looking at. You also could take stress. In this case, you guys can be taking stress from these things.
There's 3. Yeah, I can take that.
And I think I'm just gonna say like kind of this leg of the trek. If you guys are like, if you're taking stress from like particularly from scavenging, then it's kind of adding up.
I think that's a good policy. It's not so much that it's like you get stress back at scenes, but it's like you get stress back at the end. Well, of
and in the future, if I do another expedition Dracana, I will do that based on milestones.
Season 2. Season 2.
Yeah, I already got some ideas. Yeah, then it would be like I can't think what they call them, but there's a milestone that's every like 3 sessions or something like that, but would probably be closer to that sort of a thing.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be recovering your stress all the time.
Right.
And it's kind of trying to meet a balance between the original rules for this, where you aren't supposed to have any stress track at all, and
consequence.
Yeah, everything's supposed to go just straight to consequences. With the original style of this,
of the
horror survival,
the
horror toolkit thing, but I wanted it to feel a little bit more with adventure and like fighting monsters and stuff, so it needed the stress track.
Season 2, where we play as the Narkenzi expedition.
Oh, fun. Immediate
Episode
death
2,
by
whale wrist.
Yeah.
I volunteer to play Lord Narkensi.
Yeah.
I'll play the whale wrist.
Okay, I still got, that was just the first attack. Another attack coming your way.
All right,
this one's also a 7.
Oh.
Oof. Alright, I'll defend.
Yeah, you saw Navius get smacked across the face by a thornback tundra bear.
I got a 5. So the difference is a 2. And I can take this in stress.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a 2 physical stress.
Alright, then I got one more attack. 6.
I'll do this one too. I got this. Or do I? Alright, I got a 1. Ouch. Oof. So that difference is a 5. Eek.
Pay point reroll.
We are really screwing the pooch on this.
A 5. I can take
Your Snowvine taking a consequence 1 tier worse than you is an option.
I might do that because the Snowvines have just never been hurt.
So if you shrugged off 2, it would take a moderate.
Actually, I think I don't know what's coming though. I need to hold on to these tokens.
Yeah, there's still more coming. I'm just gonna
All right.
say that.
I'm just
This
gonna.
is the only thing we're
I
facing
got
tonight.
some dangerous things.
Just gonna be a lot more role
I'm just gonna take it in
and-
stress. I'll take it in stress. So.
Okay. Excellent. And that was it. That was the 3 rolls for that. So you guys got I think it was 2 per thing, right? So you get 6 food.
Yeah.
Nice.
So plus 6
I
food.
feel like that's an equitable exchange of harm to
So
in these conditions.
in summary, what is this thing like? How does this encounter go down? Does it chase us, or like it like bursts out of the ground and like attacks us, or?
No, it doesn't
As a
burst out of the
story.
ground. I think actually you have to kill it. This is what you have.
That's
Ah,
This is your
this is
food.
it.
This
Yeah.
is this is your food, yeah, and I don't think it's normally like a really aggressive predator type creature. To me, it doesn't look like it, but I think it can defend itself. It's got these crazy long claws. There
Like
just
a
isn't
polar bear.
there isn't much wildlife out here, right? So when you encounter it, you're like, that could feed like our crew for
we
days,
spend a long
right?
time debating whether we think it's an
But
apex
it's
predator
gonna
or
be
a herd
dangerous.
beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out herd beast sometimes can be really fuck
Whatever,
up.
you guys set up an ambush, but it's got a really surprisingly thick hide, as many things do that live in this.
Navius just goes in with the rapier and is like, ugh.
Yeah, it just like doesn't pierce it. Yeah, it's all bends.
It's all fur.
I feel like
Mhm.
Tessa went right.
So I have a quick question.
Mhm.
I didn't know if you'd be down for a magic user with like +3. So my
Mhm.
idea is that she is also known as Tessa the Whisper Blade, and she can conjure a fog of blades. How do you feel about that? Is that or I
Like
can just say
conjuration magic
conjuring like a
That's what
fog
that sounds
of
like.
blades
to me.
that they're like for flavor they're like silent. That's why it's the Whisper Blade. If you're cool with
Mhm.
that, that's
Um,
what I would do. If not, I'm just gonna stick to straight fight.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you see that character being,
Okay, cool. In that
I
case-
feel like being magic users is you know, it's not necessarily that it's rare, but like not a lot of people are walking around the world slinging magic here and there. But if you feel like that makes sense for her character or who you want her to be or who you want to play,
yeah, I just didn't. I saw her as being like a character who definitely took on contracts, like to also as like be a mercenary, but like she was not a brawny character.
Man, what a power couple.
So yeah, I mean, that's
yeah, it's certainly not the image that I was seeing of
what
her,
were you
but
seeing her as?
it is irrelevant because it's your character and it's your character from your backstory. So it is. I'm just saying it's different than what my image was of her. I mean, she was certainly somebody that was tough enough to come up here on her own to seek him out. So
Yeah.
I wasn't suggesting that she were
Yeah,
going to be some pushover.
we got some fog blades hype from the chat from,
Mhm.
Cool,
from Doc.
cool.
So I think it's a go on fog blades.
I
That would
promise
be
I hadn't really.
conjuration magic.
Yeah. That's it, and it wouldn't be anything extensive, just
Oh.
used strictly for that.
No
You-
wonder she was throwing caster shade at Tay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it would be fighting with conjuration,
Okay, cool. Then that's what I would have
which
done.
may be normal. I don't know if that normally would be a thing. Maybe it would be a
Is
stunt.
that a stunt?
But it
Is
but
it
it
a
doesn't.
stunt? Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
It's
either way.
irrelevant with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
NPC. Yeah.
Cool.
It's kind of the joy of this system is you're like, it doesn't really matter how you describe it. It just comes down to the number and whether it's a fight action or create advantage action. And
Is
it's
it
like
balanced?
I was
narratively
going
does it
to
make
wait
sense?
for the break to ask you about it, but it seems like it's being presented now.
No, yeah,
I
that's
gotta
cool.
ask her now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Sweet.
That's cool.
So
Cool.
she conjures a blade fog.
Yeah, just like
Alright, great.
as I guess this horn thing is charging along, just throws out a fog of like blades that just like rest right where he's about to like trample through, and it just cuts his right where his knees are.
I think I need a sound effect for this blade of.
Well, it's completely silent.
Oh yeah, it is. It is silent. That was
It's like a wind.
No,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
actually, there is no.
Maybe that's the sound effect. It's unnatural silence.
Uh-huh. It sort of takes the air out of the.
It's
out
like
of the room.
the creak of a door being opened.
Yeah, it's like probably not completely silent, but it's
All right,
like,
moving on to another challenge. I mean, whoever feels like they are like leading the expedition in this moment, give me a survival check. And I know this is like the perception survival thing, so I know it's kind of ambiguous that you don't know what the DC is really that you're rolling for or what you're rolling for. But
Have our
it
food-
also doesn't feel fair for me to just be like, this thing happens.
Our food
Yeah.
expedition has returned, so we're back to like full.
Not totally full, but you got.
Not food. I'm just saying those
Full
those
entourage.
characters
Yeah.
are back. So Furla would once again be in the lead. I would imagine.
I
like,
have a
Furla
feeling
and
that like
Tessa would
Furla and
be-
Tessa are kind of like
They're both.
butting heads
Mhm.
over like who's leading this thing. I think.
Well, I would,
But still, like,
I would allow it to be like one of you rolling and the other one aiding.
yeah.
If it's like the two
I
of you
would-
are kind of like in the front.
Yeah, in the forefront
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
And yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Who wants to roll?
I'll roll. I think.
I love that we have another survival character.
I know.
Just like,
I know.
thank God, just in time.
I think there's a weird like character like
Rivalry.
conflict going on because it's like, no, I'm the one who's like the leader of this
Yeah.
expedition. I'm like on the contract in the first place, and also like
I feel like that's also
you belong to
like,
Alexi. Alexi belongs to you.
All
And
right,
that's weird. Why is that the way that things have to be?
I see it almost like as it's challenging like your place, like
Yeah.
if you're like that's who I am in this weird mishmash family. I'm the survivalist, and that threatens my like security as a part of the group. You know what I mean?
Totally.
fear of being
Maybe
cast off
overcoming
again.
challenges will make you all bond.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe, or maybe I'll eat her
Could happen.
and gain her
Valor.
power.
Nice.
That was a good roll.
Yes. 7.
Awesome.
8
Um,
with the...
8 with the nade, yeah.
that is the DC that I was looking for.
Sweet.
So,
Numbers is getting high,
Yeah,
y'all.
numbers are getting high.
so ultimately, this is not necessarily avoiding this entirely, but it will be giving you an advantage on a roll to come. Is that you just narratively, I think what happens is the snow vine like busts up in a sudden moment in front of you and like stops you from walking forward, and then and kind of like
What is it, thing?
reaches forward and is like pressing into the snow, and at one point some of it kind of gives way, and you can see that down a little bit it's like looking into complete darkness, and you're realizing that there's a like crevasse that you guys are coming up on.
Oh man, that's like been kind of like iced.
And that,
over or something?
this area is filled with crevasses. Yeah, so a crevasse in these cases is where like a glacier or an ice shelf like splits apart and creates like sometimes really deep vertical and can be quite, fairly wide apart, but then fresher snowfall falls down and at some point builds up enough in a way that it kind of forms like a bridge, and then over the top it can just end up being completely smooth.
Yeah, so rather than like, you're sinking in like 2 feet or something into the snow, suddenly you're just like
You just drop through out of nowhere. And you almost dropped through, but because the snow vine was burrowing a little ways ahead of you, it basically bust out into this area and was able to stop and then be like, whoa, stop. So I will still, you guys are going to need to get your things like either across this crevasse or like navigate around it. So it's gonna, it was gonna be like a handle animal check if a cart like hit it, but in this case it's gonna be a survival check, I guess. Basically,
could I maybe make a like nature magic to like make a root bridge to have the the wagons go over?
Yeah,
and I could give up something from our caravan in order to like make it happen to grow out of like something wooden.
Because what we're going for in terms of scenery is like vast, expansive nothing. Right?
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't be able to
totally
just like latch onto a tree that's nearby or anything.
Now, here's Furla's lesson in cannibalism. First, we cannibalize the non-living matter. Trees that are already dead.
Okay. I can understand that. Well, maybe... Oof.
I mean, we only have one cart
hierarchy of
I
who to
mean,
kill
we have
first.
two.
This is test.
Yeah, you have
Maybe
you do have the small one.
Anabius will share it with us. Babs is first on the list.
Maybe a
You do
crate?
have a bunch of supplies.
Yeah, what supplies can we on our list to
You have...
I conjure a root bridge!
You have 10 like cargo units worth of repair supplies. And some of that was like you guys had scuttled one of your wagons and had taken a bunch of stuff from it.
Right.
And had created stuff.
Yeah, what if I used 1 unit of repair supplies?
I think it would be way more than that.
1 unit, yeah.
I think it would be like 5 units. But I mean, you guys are also nearing kind of the end of your trek, to be honest.
Yeah, but then we gotta turn around.
Well,
Yeah, but we'll have.
I mean, our
less
players,
people
our
waiting.
characters do, but we don't.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we're not gonna roleplay that.
Assuming you survive.
The journey back.
We have less people to cart back.
Every week we
Fine.
show up and we continue to walk,
Yeah.
and then just roleplay the whole time.
We find the rest of the dead expeditions. and
All
roll
right.
back.
We stopped and had a potato farm.
If
Took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, I think.
Ash will step up to help you with the crafting, with the nature magic.
I feel like if you give up that much cargo over just the course of the time of taking to do it, that you don't have to roll. You spotted the danger. You already made a DC 7 roll, and now you're like giving up cargo. It seems like that's enough. We don't need to.
What if I gave up
we don't
less
need to
cargo but
belabor
rolled?
it?
Can we unburden the horse then? Maybe.
Oh, okay, I'll
that'd be
say
the cargo.
because it was a DC 7, right? So if you hit a DC 7, I'll say that you reduce it.
Okay.
Kind of by half. It'll be three instead of 5.
+1.
Plus 1 from Ash. We're like holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got that. I got a 7.
Okay, nice. Okay, so -3. Repair supplies.
Yeah, so we empty out all of this like random like wooden nails and axles and spokes and stuff like that, and then we're like doing the thing, and
Awesome.
and they're like,
And yeah, I think like you were saying, like breaking down crates and stuff, like just trying to get as
yeah,
much
the
of this
wood,
kind of
like
spare.
pulling
yeah.
the different planks that make up the.
Do we
and making them
know
grow all
that
crazy,
Ash
like-
has all the
Mhm.
rainfall like just stuffed in his pockets?
I mean,
Is
I
that
don't
public
know.
or private knowledge?
I feel like they're small. I don't know if it's necessarily public knowledge, but he is not making an attempt to hide it.
Okay.
Of what?
That I have just a shit ton of rainfall.
Oh.
I just wondered.
All, like,
I just wondered
at
as,
this point,
as you're using
sewed
your
into my
evocation
robe.
magic to like boost Furla, if we
Oh
see
no, I'm
some
using
of it reacting
I'm using
in your
nature
coat
magic
pockets.
to boost Furla.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, so you guys
Yeah.
grow this bridge and support the snow, and you get your whole crew across it without losing anyone.
Nice.
It's very rope bridgey though, right? It's very,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it would be-
this
Yeah,
is
it's
treacherous.
It's creaking and cracking.
and then we break it all down and find the next one and then deploy it again.
So you guys
It's like the Shattered Plains.
carry on for a ways, and eventually you
Magic
catch
suits that can jump over the hole.
something kind of different in the snow, and maybe takes a moment to realize, but that it is basically like tracks in the snow that have been snowed over somewhat, but tracks enough that seem like it is kind of like a cart or something, right? Also, really, I feel like your carts at this point, you probably have like skis, right? You've done the thing where literally the
Right.
wheels are just like on skis.
Check the wheel. Yeah, exactly.
You've just got skis underneath the wheels, and you've got them like strapped on, right?
Yes.
What do horses do in snow?
Not well.
No.
I think we're
So
we're
really,
going slow
in
at
this
this
sort of a
point.
situation, if it like a South Pole expedition in our world,
It'd be
they're
dogs.
no, it's it's a person just pulling a sled
Dang.
and with skis and like just like that, and they've got like whatever strapped on, and then they're just pulling it behind them.
Put skis on the
You're
horses.
completely self-sufficient.
Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you're walking with the big snowshoe thing, right? The like.
Yeah.
It's too bad we didn't have a
Tennis
dog
racket
to pull
things.
our sleds.
Or probably I think
No.
with your own
Cross-country skis.
Yeah.
cross country skiing, a
Yeah.
lot of it.
I love
It
cross-country.
depends on what the terrain is, but you guys see some tracks, and after a while, they lead up to another like massive hole, right, of one of these crevasses, but it looks like they did not navigate it successfully. This big hole that is busted open, like the tracks lead to the hole, and
They don't
it's
have
just
a
like it's just
ruthless snow
darkness when you're looking down there.
Alexi, ever the pragmatic man, tosses a rock down to see how long it takes before he hears a.
Or it hits
Yeah, you hear it
someone.
kind of fall off of a couple things. It seems like it's a ways down, and just more than anything, this sort of a climb is extremely dangerous. It's a DC 6 athletics if somebody wanted to try to climb down to see what's going on down there.
No. not doing that. We need to go on. Whoever this is dead now.
Ash sort of like sort of half-heartedly like tosses down a little bit of fire to see how far down we can see, like a torch sort of thing.
Yes.
Can I do that and actually roll to see if like we see how far I can cast my location?
Sure.
Yes, that's a 4. Sort of tries to like illuminate a little bit down just to see if they see anything.
Maybe we here's being.
Yeah, I think it's probably like it's a good like 20 meters down or something like that to the bottom of this, and you can see what looks like a wrecked the wreckage of a wagon down there, but you can't really. I mean, it's too far down to really make out much, right? But you can see definitely something crashed down there.
Yeah.
And you can't see if there are people or survivors or anything like that. Not without going down.
I'd say we're the lucky ones. We keep moving.
It's not ours. It's not our concern.
What if there's someone down there alive? Shouldn't we help them?
I agree with Alexi.
If there's someone down there alive,
I'm not saying we try to go down
physics
there.
still apply outside the view of the rings.
I agree with Lady Free.
What's the harm in at least shouting down there? Maybe we could listen and see if someone responds back.
What was the athletics check you said?
Avalanche Part 2.
6.
No one responds, we move on.
Shout.
Alright, do I need to, like,
Yo!
roll? To,
No,
like,
you
see if
don't.
I
You
can-
you yell down and nobody responds.
Okay, cool. In that case,
I'm gonna talk my Snowvine into checking it out.
What?
If you guys really want to see if there's a person, this
No,
person might have a child.
my
You can, but
Morality
keep in
was-
mind like what can you communicate to Snowvine and what can it communicate back to you.
To bring it back. Oh, that's gonna be really.
I mean, you
hard.
don't necessarily
It's
know
gonna be
what's
so
down
hard.
there at all, and you don't
Yeah.
know if there is a. I mean, you
Yeah.
assume that there's a person at least, but you
Babs
don't know if they're
jumps down.
alive or dead. You just don't know anything, right?
Send Babs then.
He takes the horse
Yeah,
down.
I don't think that would be. It would be
Let's
too
deal with
complicated for the
Babs.
Snowvine
Let's go.
to.
And just to be clear, you guys
already
totally
been
do
down
not have to
there.
go down here. This
Yeah.
is a.
This is the GM like the.
No, I
the
can't think what they
carrot.
call it, but it's one of the things in the fate book that they talk about. It's a hard choice, right? To present a thing to them and just be like, do you want to do this thing or not?
I
It
find,
will.
The
I
cart-
find no value in going to...
I mean, I'm conflicted. This cart is fallen into the hole. Like we can't reach the cart.
You could climb down to it, but it's irretrievable in terms of like having it be functional.
Yeah.
But like there were supplies in it. Supplies could be brought back up, maybe, but it would then be like more challenging DC to climb back up, right? And I'm seeing it as a climb down and a climb up.
Though at hand, I think whatever
But you might learn
resources
information.
we
There's-
could glean would come at far greater cost
That might be
than
more than the human.
scouting on our own.
All right, I'm gonna create an advantage to. I'll give up some more of our repair stuff in order to create like some nature ropey, some vines, like rooting this into the ground on the edge and then having them grow down so that we can shuttle down it like a rope.
Okay,
Basically, I
cool.
mean, we could literally just use a rope. Don't we have rope? Did we bring rope?
You
with
guys,
us?
you guys probably do.
50
have rope,
foot
yeah.
of silk elven rope.
Yeah,
No,
don't-
this is rolling and it's great.
Don't no.
Do we have rope? I
Don't
don't.
use supplies.
I don't know if we have
Yeah.
rope though.
Furlough, we should
we're
just
getting
be
to the point
making
where we gotta
another
use
bridge
our
at this
potions.
point. We should move on.
And
But
to
there
be,
might be
to be
something
clear,
that
you guys don't
Kevin-
have to. You don't have to use supplies to get over another crevasse here. The intention of this was not to be another like challenge
Right.
to get over.
We
but-
continue to like
Yeah.
reuse the supplies.
or just you find another way around.
Yeah,
We've done the crevasse challenge.
Furlough, we continue to move forward.
But there might be food or resources in this wagon.
Though it's nearby, I think attempting to retrieve it would come at a higher cost than simply scouting for our own.
Is the plant the only one that still has their humanity?
You yelled, Alexi. No one responded.
Who knows how long these tracks have been snowed over? I mean, I can't read this, but surely, Tessa, you know how long these tracks have been here?
I suppose I could try to check and see how, fresh these tracks are.
How far
If there
down
are
is this
tracks,
wagon?
If I can find tracks.
60 feet down.
60 feet. Do you think? How high would the number be for me to make the wagon grow roots that push the wagon up to us?
Just trying to speak to the wood.
Surely that's
Yeah.
like a super duper mega hard.
Yeah, like
That'd be
legendary.
freaking sick, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like an 8 or something?
I mean, it's a 6 to climb down. So I feel
Yeah,
like based on that,
okay.
it would have to be a lot higher to get it up.
All right, I'm gonna create this nature rope to climb down with.
Further, if you can create a means to get down without using any more of our resources that we have right now, I don't want a net loss from this venture.
Okay. Can I have the snow vine create an advantage with itself as a rope? With its athletics? Or
You're
endurance,
stretching that
like
poor
either
guy
one.
So thin.
I know.
I guess.
Like he's basically like making himself into like several anchor points, and then I would climb down him, so I got an advantage in that
I mean,
one.
it's done that before.
We're tight.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess it did that before. Yeah.
Totally.
Tight.
We're tight. We're the same thing. All right. I got a 2.
Well, that doesn't do it.
Doesn't create an advantage. Well, can I invoke its burrow boost?
We've tried our best.
Yeah, 4. I always feel weird about like should creating advantage be the same DC as the thing itself.
I feel like it should not. It should be easier because you're
Yeah,
trying to
super
you're trying to hit that number by
Yeah.
creating the advantages.
Yeah, a 4. Then I guess a 4 would do it.
Same song. Still same.
That's my opinion at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it can't burrow. I can't get the burrow boost in this scene at least. All right, so it's like half burrowed, like looping in and out of this thing in order to create a pretty secure ladder, and then I'm gonna climb down it with my athletics, which are not good, but they're okay. They're fair. Sweet. I got a 4 plus the 2 from the ladder, so 6.
All right, great. You get down to the bottom. You find this crashed, and
I'm looking through it.
And the cart is utterly destroyed.
Yeah,
right?
I'm looking through the goods.
It's fallen down a long ways. Yeah, there definitely is goods. Really, the question is like getting how much of it back up, right? You can probably carry. I mean, we were saying that the horse is carrying 5, so you could carry a couple of supplies worth of like, I'll say really whatever it is that you want to retrieve from it, you can be getting. I mean, the things that you're normally getting are food, medicine, which you guys have a good bit of medicine right now. I think you have 14 like units of medicine. You have less of like repair stuff.
Food is
You
what I'm
have
most worried
sleeping
about.
stuff, whatever. Yeah, I mean.
Another heart scene.
Yeah, I don't.
And there are also
That's my
there are also a couple of bodies down here of people and of course of like the draft animals that had been pulling the wagons.
Do you recognize?
You do recognize one of the people as a person who had been talking to Alexi in Corbin's Corbin's cavern. Mm-hmm. There was somebody who had walked up and like greeted him warmly when he had come out from learning about his son. Yeah, Gaunter, which I don't know if your character knew who Gaunter was, but
I wouldn't know him. But
that's who this is. Yeah, he's like just crushed under the stuff.
Yeah, and they all look dead. They're like,
oh yeah, and
like
frozen and like
covered
blue
in ice. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Galaxy is ruined. Oh well, that one's out the window.
Not ruined. The ship has sunk, but it still sailed.
Fanfiction.
It did in our
Start
hearts and our
fanfiction.
minds. It's fan. It happened that night. We still have what happened that night.
Start a petition to rewrite the.
Last 2 episodes.
All right, now I have to
Gotta
figure
get
out
back up.
how to get this back up. I didn't think this through.
I mean,
very
if you're
well.
if you're just carrying like
I know. I know.
if you're just carrying like 2 units or something, I don't think it's gonna increase the DC. If it's more than that, then it will.
I think I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
Just carry up the 2 units.
Yeah.
Can I toss anything up?
60 feet?
It's too far. Yeah.
Catapult it.
60
All right.
feet straight up.
I'm taking 2 units up with me,
All right.
and I probably don't have that advantage anymore. It's great. It's gonna be great. I have a 3. Can I take the rest as stress? The difference?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
You still have stress? I thought you were like.
I have no stress now.
Super beat up. Oh my gosh.
I know. I have 10 stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
get back up
Furlow's
with like
tough.
2 cheese sandwiches. Like,
Yeah. Well, you climb and you get most of the way up, and then you fall and like hurt.
Yeah,
hurt
like
yourself,
twist
right?
my.
Orla!
Yeah, collective audible gasp from 30 feet above.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is Lhanji's expression like when she finally gets to the top?
Well, it's the like you should have been mad, but you're too relieved.
Mama Lhanji.
Yeah.
And then I show the like rutabagas or whatever I pulled from the
Yeah.
the flimsy 2 units of food.
Deep breath. Well done.
Thank you.
Can we?
Verla, did you find anybody down there?
I did. I found one that you spoke to in Corbin's Cavern. I think his name was Gunter Lockheed.
Gunter!
Yeah.
And then my
Oh no,
his face
the guiding light has fallen.
his face has like a furrowed brow.
This journey extracts a heavy toll.
Goes silent.
I think we should continue moving. It's been slow going, and who knows how many more of these there are.
Are you opposed to Gunter being eaten?
Oh my god!
Did you see like the snow vine's like the tail of it sticking up, like it's still down there.
I'm gonna just say like a raised eyebrow from Yurik over here.
Yeah.
Just like continually.
I would prefer a respectful burial. Unfortunately, we don't quite have any headstones out here this far in the wastes. So I suppose you can have your little snack.
I mean, in some way, this is more respectful because his organic
Don't
material
press
becomes
it.
a part of us, and then we're taking him with us. Isn't that more respectful than him just
That was the
freezing
last
in a
friend
hole?
I ever had before I met you people. Please, please be respectful with the body.
Please, can we just keep moving?
I tell the snowvine he can eat the other bodies
Oh.
that I didn't recognize. But leave that one.
Okay, moving right along.
All right, you guys move on.
Stress is high.
As you're moving and
It is hot,
you're navigating a way around this crevasse, there are other like footprints, but here, I mean, what a track it looks like more so is just like the snow is depressed a little bit more in a line in this direction as people have walked single file and it has snowed and filled it back up largely. So yeah, clearly some people from the Guiding Light expedition didn't. Not everyone fell in the hole. Right?
Yeah.
And there was no sign of
Wait, on the other
Sister
side of the
Darling.
crevasse.
Yeah, I bet I can recognize
Not,
her
well, I mean,
shoes.
like, so you guys, you know, it's a linear line, right? You guys
Yeah.
got to it, and then found this hole, and now you're going around. And you're like, oh, there's tracks in this direction
Oh,
too, as
lead.
if somebody else had gone around in this same direction. Yeah. So.
Ash asks Tessa if she knows how long. Do you know how long since these tracks have been made?
Do I need to roll for that, or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Probably basically since like the blizzard. The blizzard probably covered them up, but like not long before
That was
then.
2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago.
Which would make sense because you guys stopped in the crater for several days, right? So they certainly would have passed you and been a couple days ahead.
Yeah.
They were moving at a similar pace.
They saw an amazing magic crater and they're like, no, let's go around.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward, you guys keep moving ahead, and
Yeah.
do you want to kind of stay along this track of these tracks?
I think we want to continue moving forward, and that would be across the.
Yeah. So
let's
I mean,
continue making bridges across.
yes, but I mean, you guys get past the crevasses entirely,
Okay.
but now there is this track that is leading you.
All right, I want
For
to
the
talk to
moment.
Lhanji about this. If we find this person, like, if they're gonna reach this thing before us, do we need to kill them? They're an arrival expedition.
Do we need to kill them? No. Let's let as many natural hazards of the game thin the herd for as long as we can.
Furla looks out on the horizon and you see, like, the snow vine breaking the limbs of some human it had pried up from the ground, and I was like, some natural hazards perhaps might befall it.
Some natural hazards,
Oh, no,
perhaps.
sweet
might be
Furla is
involved.
learning, learning the ways.
The game!
This
Sweet
party of
summer
villains,
child.
God. Okay, so
The snow vine's going ahead and gonna kill this thing.
Oh no! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
That's what was discussed.
well, yeah, I mean, so generally, heading north at this point, you guys are going to be running like along kind of this same track as.
Because it's just a single.
Well, yeah, but it's that it's single file, right?
Yeah.
You have it's been several days. You have no way of
Right.
really telling how
Right.
many. It doesn't seem like it's like a cart, like it's not like a wide path, but it's just kind of like a divot in the snow that is. But you could, yeah.
I mean, if it's leading directly north.
Yeah, I would
that's our
say
most
only
direct
follow
path.
the tracks if our navigation confirms that that's the direction. We don't.
Yeah,
want
you're still
any,
checking
like,
your own. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you guys
Mirage.
you do follow it,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
eventually, you see a like a tent on the horizon. That's,
And while we follow it, Lhanji would give Furla essentially what could be Lhanji's memoir, which is like how to play the game to win.
Yes.
The main point here is always they need to strike the first blow.
Mm.
You can provoke them, but you can't strike first.
Yes, but in nature, striking first means you get the kill.
I cannot erase a vivid scene from Hunter x Hunter of the whole episode where you study how the best time to attack is when your prey is going for its prey.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nice.
What just happened?
A wild catarask.
Catarask moment? Oh. Thank you.
Cataraskery achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We want to talk to this person.
Oh, we can walk right past them right now.
Mm-hmm. That is also an option.
That is what Lhanji would suggest. Here, we'll have... There's no need that Furla and I are the only ones to discuss this. How do you all feel about this rival expedition? In my mind, it would be most prudent to simply go on by. I have no interest in joining forces with them. If they wish us ill, then I'm comfortable retaliating.
Tessa would suggest searching and trying to investigate to see if they are something that could be a threat.
It's the guiding light expedition. We're
We don't know
assuming.
We don't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh.
They are the tracks that led from the wreckage of the guiding
I
light
guess
expedition.
Tessa
so,
would
yeah.
be like, oh right, the guiding light expedition.
Mhm.
You know, Tessa would be like everything.
And you
like
can't
that.
identify
Yeah.
them by their tint by this distance, but just logically that
Yeah.
that
Right.
is who
The
you
fact that it's a
that's who you
tent.
assume that it is.
I feel like
Of course, it could be Karnaslav.
Yeah, I
as,
would
as the
be-
chat continues to remind us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would be suspicious if anything, considering there's been the what were they Wendigos that were out
There
here.
you go. Mm-hmm.
I'd be suspicious of anything out here at this point, but that's me.
I fear that they might strike us if we don't strike them.
It's not wise, perhaps, to have the enemy at our back. after
I'm
we
not
pass.
suggesting we make ourselves vulnerable. I'm simply saying, to the faithful, it is always good form to show good faith.
I don't know how much good faith is going to do us up here.
Well,
We are beyond the sight of gods.
If we move past them, we need to make sure to cover our tracks, or they'll be the ones tracking us.
But that is doable.
no objection.
Mhm.
I'm simply not looking for a fight unless one comes to us. Why waste the energy and resource on a possible threat? We have enough confirmed threats to deal with.
Lady Free, wouldn't
Hey,
wouldn't it be prudent of us to? I get very uncomfortable when you look at me that way. Wouldn't it be prudent of us to?
It's okay, she is taken. Right.
that's debatable.
Wouldn't it be prudent of us to?
Furla
Ex-
looks off in the distance and thinks about this for a long
Debatable.
time.
Debatable. What?
Debatable.
What does that mean?
To extend a hand if it were someone of import?
That's a good point. You did just say
You just ate. Be quiet.
We could perhaps garner favor or be owed a debt of some sort. For when this is all over, of course.
I think
And
it's
they survive and we survive.
a bit early in the game for that tactic, and a bit late. We're rather tight in resources.
Can we eat humans if there are enemies? Sorry. Sorry,
We can, but we won't if we don't have any enemies at present. Which I would say we do not, unless proven otherwise.
Can we put it to a vote, or do you guys just go by your sponsors' orders?
I'm cool
Yeah,
with the
what-
sponsor's orders.
Tay, would you be interested in leading a diplomatic envoy?
Oh no.
What do you have in mind?
Well, really, I'd like to leave it up to you and see how you perform.
Oh no. Oh no.
If you're interested in selecting a team and approaching the Guiding Light expedition, you have my support.
I'm like, Snowvine, I need you under the ground, wherever this is happening, ready.
I will take Ash with me, and I will go just the two of us.
How very noble.
I will be as discreet as possible and assess the threat, and if it were someone who may provide more assistance than harm, then I will make myself known.
You do honor to the Telestian household.
Yeah.
Push it up to your back up.
Yeah, can I roll report to give her an advantage?
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
I feel like that makes sense.
class pet or something?
Class
Plus
pet.
5?
Love it.
Yeah, Lhanji's like,
Pep talk or whatever.
yeah, I don't know. I like pets.
Spread your wings.
That's that.
All right, so
Okay, so basically, Tay goes to Ash and says, oh, "Okay, let's go." He sort of rolls his eyes. They get about halfway there, and Tay's like, "Okay, go ahead."
No!
I'll be right behind you, but you're skulky and, I'll do the talking, you do the looking.
I think this is a chance to prove yourself.
Yes.
This is the.
Chance to prove yourself for everyone.
You
nice.
need to do it.
Ash, is like, I agreed with Lady Bree long before we even started debating on this, but I will go see what I see. So Ash is going to attempt to sneak
Ooh.
Okay.
by the tent. And see what
Furla
he
has
can
had
find
a
out
heart-to-heart with the Snowvine and has explained if any harm is about to come to either of these people that we love and are a part of our collective forest community, you are to protect them.
They get
at
a
any
red
cost.
circle around their mini.
I got a 2.
It doesn't seem like anyone noticed you.
What did I see?
I mean, getting up close to the tent, it's like, it's zipped up effectively, right?
Mm.
There isn't really much to see than
I listen then.
Mhm.
What do I hear? Anything?
silence.
A piano.
I turn back to Tay. I shrug my shoulders and I just lift the tent up with evocation.
Lift the doors
I
open.
just
Oh, like lift the whole
yeah.
thing?
No. I've like basically blow the doors
the
open.
door open, yeah.
Yeah, with a
Grand entrance.
with a 5.
Mm-hmm. It
Sort of menacingly, but also
the
great control.
doors blow open, and then it's like shot after shot of like people's faces like frozen to death, right? And they're all like curled up like they. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh huh.
That's so good. I like it.
Good thing Chase and Ash first.
Ash sort of
And among them, you see Cedric Oilburn.
Is he a rival or
He was a contact.
he's my contact.
Mm-hmm.
is he like a
I turn
friend?
to after I take a second and sort of shake my. I call
he's like-
Tay over.
Oh, do you?
I call Tay over to see what has been seen, and
You could have spared her of that.
Ash is not one to spare. I call her over and say, "This is your mission. Why don't you return and tell your teacher what there is to see?"
Mm-hmm.
Taser catches in her throat a little bit when she sees Cedric, but she's keeping her wits about
Yeah.
her.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes stock of the name. Did she see? Who else does she see?
The other notable person is Sister Darling Akobi is there, and she's like gripping her holy
Holy
symbol.
symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Sucker.
Ash.
Sucker. God.
Jeez.
Julie the
This has really
Darkest.
brought out the best in everyone with this
Well, at
story.
this point, everyone's just cold, and
Yeah.
Tay returns and gives the news to the group. Ash stays behind, and I
Mhm.
want to make another stealth roll but I want to go in the tent
Mhm.
and basically, I guess I don't know if it would
Probably
be
not stealth. You're
or
like you're just
search.
searching or something.
I want to
but-
search, but I also want to search Cedric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Foraging.
I'm foraging.
Mhm.
I guess.
Give me a roll.
That's a 3 because I have no search.
Nice.
So what you notice is two things. In kind of in front of him there in the tent, he has like a metal basin that is often used for like whatever, like cooking or like keeping your like fire contained or something. And in it are like the ashes of like a page or a paper or something that it seems like was burned to keep something secret. Also, you notice that his hand where a signet ring would normally be on his hand, that you know that it normally would be there, is not there anymore.
Do I see where it is with this search?
No. But you know that the signet would be something that he wouldn't want people to like.
Yeah, it would not
find.
be around him anywhere.
Yeah. That it would. You would guess that probably it was his doing that the signet ring is not on his hand
Right.
anymore. Knowing what you, particularly Ash,
Yeah.
knows. Yeah.
I place a hand on his shoulder and take a minute, and then I leave the tent, return to the group.
As soon as the tent flap closes, the
nobody!
camera is still lingers in the tent, and like a vine like coils up one of the like nameless people's legs, and then like starts to slowly drag them across the ground.
Popsicle!
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh shit.
All right. So you guys get back to the group. When you guys had done a like survival check earlier, I had an idea of a different way to do this. That maybe makes sense. Would be like you had a 4, you had a 1, right? If you guys are like kind of scouting, and I'm rolling against you, would be another way
Yeah,
to do it.
totally.
Right?
It's
So-
like basically notice versus stealth kind of thing. Yeah.
So you guys make your way back. You travel for a while. To not belabor things, I was going to do like another couple days of travel, but I'm just going to move forward. Yeah, and I'm making a roll against that number.
Do you mention this burned
And I'm spending
No.
a fate point.
thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had a thought, maybe out of character, I could advise you of like maybe divination. You could maybe like cast some kind of spell and like touch the ashes and maybe like divine a moment of that object's past when you can like.
I don't think that would be necessary in this situation.
Oh, okay, got it.
Oh.
I don't know anything about
Secret
this.
Hive?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Secret
I
Hive.
mean, it's getting
Yeah.
close to it at that point.
Secret Hive.
Okay, so you guys travel on, and we kind of missed going to a break here, but I do still want to take a break and come back. But before the break, to leave it on a cliffhanger, you guys are traveling along in your normal formation in the snow, and suddenly, with no warning whatsoever, a thundering sound shakes the ground underneath you, and bursting up out of the ground onto the scene
Uh-oh.
is a
Oh no.
No sense.
Oh no.
Rimraz.
Put it on the table and I'll get it in the.
What the fuck is
Rimraz. This is a classic D&D monster. They are also
Wait,
we
is
have
this
Keith
the
queued
thing
up a
that-
photo.
that
Do you have
Drizzt,
an image?
Fought
I think
out in,
I do think that Drizzt actually fights a Rimraz.
Yeah.
Drizzt.
Yeah.
Boom.
We got this image.
Yeah, he definitely does. Him and
Yeah,
the
they are
barbarian
gnarly. They're ambush predators. I'm not going to make the attack roll yet to defend, but this thing is coming up, and it is biting somebody, and it's burst up out of the ground, right? So
Oh, shit.
it's like
The snow
it's like
bug meets its
ground
match.
is cracking, and people are falling, and you're seeing antennae and legs kicking, and like this fiery furnace-like heat that is coming from the inside of this creature, and this flaming red maw coming up at the party. And that's where we're gonna cliffhanger it for the break, and we should maybe just do a 10-minute break and come back and try to get as much of this combat as we can.
10 minutes. All right, 10-minute break. Catch you guys on the flip side. Make sure to drink water and use the restroom.
Hey!
one.
Imagining this scene in Hercules'
Hey,
Legendary Journeys.
there you are.
There we are.
I
That's
have
it.
to watch that shit.
Right on time.
It's like
Thanks for
that.
staying tuned, y'all.
Terrible CG.
We're facing down with the Remoras.
That's right. Gigantic.
Arctic
Yeah.
burrowing.
Massive Arctic ambushing insect is its high aspect. Yeah. A Remoras. Freaky creature. I don't want to explain too much because I don't want to be like giving stuff away that
No,
characters
yeah.
might not know
Keep the
yet, but
aspects coming.
yeah.
Classic first edition monster. We posted the image in the chat.
Yeah, it is bursting up out of the snow right now.
Who's defending? Who's this thing going
Well,
for?
I guess I should determine that first, huh?
Ordered it by
You should go after Furla since Furla has no stress left.
Keith, behind you. Oh, maybe not, actually.
Please no.
For 11 covers all of this
Fate
stress.
No,
I'd rather you just like outright horrible death to a horse.
Oh yeah, then Furla.
You could
Yeah,
play
a
Babs.
horse.
We could promote that.
Still alive.
Let's
No.
keep Babs as long as we can.
I guess we could do the thing where one person just picks to roll defense, and then we determine who it actually hits based on how the wound gets passed off.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. I also have a D4 where I could be like, it's going to be like you, either like Ash or Tay or whatever, you know, or Ash or pass it off to whoever. Furla or pass it off to her, whoever, right?
We
Okay.
could also have the chat
Cool.
vote on it,
Chat vote.
Wow.
or would that be too much?
Or choke.
I'm cool with whatever. I
Alright.
don't know if there's enough people in the chat to pull that off.
Yeah, let's just roll a die then.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fun.
Lexi.
Alrighty. I will roll.
Of course he takes it.
Forging ahead.
It attacks Dolph.
Kirby, come on!
What did Dolph do to you?
Not good for old Dolph. Oh, jeez. Of course, Josh starts rolling
I
like
don't know.
crazy.
Josh has just got that magic fate. It's a DM thing, though. As a DM, you
Alright,
just
I have
roll
6.
Oh,
well.
he used the caramel dice.
I did, yeah.
Ooh.
Those, are
That's why.
those are the cooking
Holy.
dice.
The DM figured out how to tap into the sweet 17 on the ground.
Some using player dice.
No.
Some dark rituals afoot.
Right. Okay, so it was successfully stealth, so it has like a burrow boost similar to the snow vine. So its fight is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is what I'm at right now, and I'm gonna tap another one to go 13. Once you see it, it's too late. Is the aspect that I'm tapping.
And it's attacking Alexi.
And yeah, so this thing, as it's busting out, like, there is steam, like, billowing up out of the ground around it, right? Because it is grabbing onto Alexi, or whoever it is that is passed on to, and inside of its mouth is like an inferno. It's like a furnace, right? That's how it burrows through the snow, is it like, heats up its body to a crazy temperature. And it can lower its temperature to hide itself, and they wait under the ice, and they wait for the vibrations of creatures over the top, and often hunt like elk and like polar bear and like massive creatures like that. So,
So
a
it's
person
basically like slithering through
absolutely
the ice as if it's
and
like
it is
water,
large.
'cause
It is
melting
large
it.
enough that whoever is ending up in its mouth here could potentially be swallowed whole by it and will be grappled by it.
Fun.
So right now we got I'm on a 13 for my attack.
Oh my god. What do you got?
Well, I had a 6.
A 6.
That is
yeah.
good.
So
Mhm.
that's
Got a
decent.
7 difference. You could take summon stress and then pass off a consequence to someone.
All the horses.
All the
go
horses
down.
die. Yeah.
He swallows not one Alexi whole, but 4 horses.
That Remoraz is hungry. All right.
So like if your character were to be taking a mild consequence, a 2, passing off a 2. If you passed it off to Tessa, it would be a 4 for her, a moderate consequence. Or if Alexi were like taking 4 consequence, you could pass it off to her, and it would be a 6, a severe consequence. Which she would totally still be able to continue with you, but she'd be pretty badly injured.
So I'm dealing with a 13. Or
A 13,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, and you rolled a 6, right? So you're
Yeah.
7 off right now.
So 7 I gotta come
So-
up with.
Yeah, and you do have you
Yeah, I do
do
have
have
stress
that in
boxes.
stress.
How many horses would have to die to suck that up? 3? Because isn't each
Yeah.
mild
I-
consequence kills a...
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be a thing where like
Mhm.
it would come up like
in the middle of
in the
yeah.
middle, and like
Mm.
all those horses would be annihilated. One would be eaten, the others would be like.
I think that would be pretty metal. That it
That
just
would be
basically
pretty-
ate
Or
3
or
horses
also if
immediately.
you're saying that you wouldn't be able to take the cart and you're giving up the cart, it could be destroying the cart as a nameless NPC as well.
Yeah.
That
The
would
cart
be-
and 2 of the horses, and then you would like have a couple horses to carry stuff.
Let's do that.
To continue to carry
Which,
stuff with
this
you.
cart?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or we could say it comes up and just like
Okay.
it does hit the cart, but gets Babs.
So my
I
and
guess if we
swallows
don't have
Babs.
Oh,
we
Babs.
don't need Babs, but maybe save Babs for later in this encounter.
So we continue to get.
If we get rid of the
fucked.
cart, we really. I mean, I guess if we lose a horse or 2 or like 3 of them, we
the
basically
cart's
could load 'em
basically
up.
dead
we
anyways.
can't really use the cart.
Yeah.
Alright, cart is out.
Yeah,
Okay.
cards taken.
So this
Cart's
thing.
out. That's 2 damage worth.
I mean, I also could just eat it. Why don't I just eat the?
Eat some stress.
Why don't I just eat all the stress now?
Yeah,
You
so you'd
know.
have to eat
7.
5, because the cart would be 2. Or you're just talking about eating all
I was
the
like,
stress.
why are we getting rid of the cart and the stress now?
you
Yeah.
got
I
a
have-
13,
He got a 13. I
so
have a
that
7.
means 10 or higher, unless he's getting negatives on the dice.
What do you mean?
He rolled +3, which means
Mm.
Well,
like
he
the-
used like a bunch
he
of
got a
stuff.
boost though.
Okay.
He got a sneak attack boost of 2.
Okay.
So it's an
Still,
8.
what I'm trying to say is like, this isn't gonna go away in the net. Like we're gonna have a couple rounds.
Yeah,
Of
I almost feel like we should
impossible
put
odds.
carts out there first before
Yeah.
we start giving you full,
Okay.
like before we start taking all your stress away. Because, you know, I think this thing is gonna need a big sword in it at some point, and like that's not gonna happen if you're.
So you would rather burn our resources first, because you think that.
I don't know, man.
I mean, shouldn't we be making the hard choices when we have to, or?
Man, I'm like driven by the coolest moment, and I think the coolest
You think
moment is this thing bursting out, eating 2 horses, and destroying the cart.
The
like
rule
seems
of
like the
cool?
most epic.
Alright,
Yeah, because then you're just
I
like,
agree, and I think
All right.
I
That's
think
fine.
from behind the GM screen, knowing like how much further you guys have to go, you don't have to go that much further. I think with a couple
Yeah,
that's
horses
fine.
and the cart that you have,
I
you guys will
think
be
the cart and the
fine.
horse probably slow us down.
don't tell us that, Josh.
Can I?
We need
Alright,
it in
we'll
our
be fine.
hearts. Yeah.
I know.
That's why we're being swayed by the rule of cool
So,
right now.
Is
Yes.
Lhanji and
So
Babs
what,
up on the cart?
The Remoraz comes up and just destroys the
anymore.
cart, knocks him over, and
Yep.
then eats a couple of horses as it's like coming through.
It's like up in the air, and the horses like are hanging out of the 2 sides.
It's probably
of its
got like
mouth,
one
and
of the horses completely in its mouth, right, and the other one is like just getting mangled by like the cart like flipping up and the ropes and stuff, and it gets yes
Yes.
perfect.
Which one?
Which horses?
This horse runs.
Yeah.
Do we? who
Oh
do we
yeah,
still
we need
have?
to figure out which
I can't
horses.
remember which
it's,
horses.
it's 2 of them, right?
we can vote
Chestnut's
if we have all the
still alive.
names.
Who are the others?
Mango and Trigger are dead.
Do we have the list of names?
I know that I had one of the names here with what
Do we have Shadowfax?
How
There's
many did we
Artax.
start out with?
Pepper is carrying some food. This one's Pepper.
Okay.
Was
Pepper's
the
carrying
solo,
food.
the solo horse. So it's
Let-
not
let-
Pepper because Solo was Pepper
Yeah,
was
let's see. Mango
detached.
and Trigger, and we lost one more hurt.
Okay, so Illithid I know is
Illithid.
definitely one of them.
Illithid is still alive.
Illithid.
Illithid's still alive. I don't remember the other names beyond that.
Chestnut?
Chestnut, I can't decide. I can't remember if Chestnut is the 3rd horse who died or a surviving horse.
Yeah.
I
Can't
think
remember.
Chestnut seems like
Okay, well we shouldn't vote on this if we don't know the names of the horses.
Okay. Well,
We'll vote on it next week.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now when Daniel's back and you guys have this.
yeah.
Do
That
we start
happens.
With how many horses do we start out with?
Like
Not
9,
enough.
I think.
We had 4 left. Now we have
Okay.
1. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, if it
What
eats
an
pepper,
entrance.
then it'll sneeze, and then we can attack it. That's a good point.
Got pepper? No.
All right, so it did this thing and wreaked havoc.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Babs
it's
went
horrible.
flying and Lhanji went flying from the cart, but I think that recovers.
Babs certainly landed on her feet.
Yeah. Who's up?
Sorry. Furla.
I caught Babs like Alexi caught him to make Furla jealous.
I haven't fallen in love with Babs yet.
I know. Like,
Not yet. For some reason, I've just gone for guys.
Now's
weather
not the
change.
time.
I was gonna go for Lhanji, but then there's this whole
Taken?
now there's
That's
this thought
debatable.
process of like, but not taken. What does that mean? In any case, there's
Yeah.
violence happening.
Your education can continue with Lhanji.
True. The question. All right. This thing just burst out of the ground. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna nature magic it. This wagon just tipped over. I think as it's like tipping over in midair, I'm like roots busting out of the bottom of it to tangle this thing, right? Because that's epic. So I'm creating an advantage against it of being entangled by the cart as it's flipping. I'm making roots burst out of it. And I didn't mean to roll that.
Yeah. That one clearly came out of your hand before.
I got a
The full
3.
rotation?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a 3. I am the mystical tundra dryad, so I got 5.
That's what against what? It's
To
fight,
create
do
an
you think?
advantage, Right?
It's athletics. To like be breaking free from it. I think it's a contest.
Yeah, either one of those.
Athletics happens to be the same number. I got a 6.
The roots attempt to like grab around, but this thing just
Oh man, it's
shrugs
legs.
it off.
It's got all of these legs, right? And they're just like and just like snapping apart the roots.
I'm the keeper of the seed.
Oh yeah!
I got nothing left to lose.
Interesting. I'll allow it, but I feel like you actually need to rewrite that aspect.
I'm fine with that. It's my secret aspect, though.
I like nothing left to lose.
It's not.
Like,
Well, I mean, it's
task has been
not your secret
accomplished.
anymore, and like you've already you've planted it now. So now
I've planted
you're
the seed.
the guardian of the seed, or maybe.
No, I've planted the seed. I've nothing left to lose.
Ah.
Your life is no longer. Your life is now just your own again.
Yeah.
You're no longer.
I mean,
I'm cool with it.
Quest.
All right. I have nothing to lose.
Furla in like 5 days went from like expecting parent, and now is like empty nester.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the thought process of like, well, wait, do you humans like protect your children for like a long time? Because I just planted this thing and I'm meant to just move on and it's on its own.
All right.
Yes, so I created an advantage of entangled,
And Ash, it's your turn.
and I wasted way too much on accomplishing that. You guys are welcome.
Sweet.
Thank you.
I wasted 4. in
I'm
order
going
create
to.
a 2.
I'm gonna be. Can I roll academics to
But
assess weakness?
That other people can use.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Say it again.
Can I roll academics to assess weakness?
Yeah,
Or
to
like
create an advantage.
see what I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, technically, we can even use
Yes.
like notice to create an advantage to spot a weakness.
I like this. Feels like monster lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. For academics, I got a 2.
I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, I don't.
This is
I
this
don't
is a
see
more
Ash
rare.
really getting too deep into monster lore, anyways. So that makes sense.
All right. Alexi.
Lhanji's on deck.
Okay.
We doomed, y'all. Now's the time to run.
I guess he's going to.
This can outstrip us in the blink of an eye.
No shit.
We could willfully split the party and send bait in one direction and see if the
Where's
rest of us
Jimothy when
gets
you need
it.
him?
Oh no! Don't say that.
Alright, Jimothy, now's your time. Run that way.
It's like
Yeah,
you can hear
Jimothy's
his-
revenge.
You can hear his cackling on the wind.
Episode 13, The Demise of Jimothy. Episode 14, Jimothy's Revenge.
Episode 15.
It's your turn.
Shit. All right. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna go up and try to take a swing at it. Well, hold on. Let me think.
It is entangled.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that there's enough there for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can always pick that the situational aspect of Kalima is present.
Yeah, we really need to like. I think I'm going to actually create an advantage instead. What do I want to do with this? So it has fire in its mouth. It has a bunch of legs. It crawls around in the snow. Horses are overturned. No, these are dead, right? And that's one that's left.
I think really 2 of them are dead.
Okay.
And it like has one in its mouth.
Okay. And then the
so
cart's
you guys have
destroyed.
two horses left.
What can I do to distract us?
You had 4. Now you have 2.
Or in the past, I've used Navius to create, unless you were going for like a mental stress thing.
I
I've used
feel like
Navius
this
to
thing's
just,
like a mindless
flank
creature,
it.
so I don't see any sort of mental attack.
Well, that usually, I don't know. This is kind of a meta perspective, but I'm like,
I'm trying
it's
to avoid
physically
that. That's
strong.
why.
It's mentally weak.
I'm trying to avoid that.
Well, anyway, if you want to use like your strong suit, you can do some kind of like flanking aspect. So someone else attacking melee.
Yeah, maybe get into formation or something.
Yeah, the other thing, if you want, like, I'm probably going to use Navius. If you want to make a strike, I'll use my turn to give you a +1. I'll teamwork with you.
Okay.
I feel like that was the...
Can I hold my turn for Navius to go first?
Mhm.
Is that okay? Then I yield my turn for you to, if you want to make an advantage or if you just want to boost. Which would you prefer?
I feel like the hard lesson we learned in our last epic encounter was that we should have been using teamwork more.
Okay.
Right
so then
now
we'll do teamwork
we've got
then.
2 on the board, so +2, +1 from another fighter.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
then
you've got a +3 to whatever you're rolling to attack.
in that case, I look to Navius
And you have 4 fate points.
and nod and
Together.
yeah, and we start to like run towards I guess the Rimaraz
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
I think what is it? Navius like slides down and like offers like a it's like he's gonna like bump the guy
boost.
a boost,
Mhm.
and so I like jump and then like get the boost up and then like twisting around and then try to like plunge my sword into I guess its body or something.
All right.
The whole thing is its neck.
I have a 6.
Oh, that's not so bad. That first one really intimidated me.
Me too.
I rolled well, and I had the free boost,
So
and I paid it.
4. So I have a 4. And you got
5.
a what?
I got a 6.
5 was
Okay,
Navius.
So 5, and then if I tap Entangled,
6,
that
7.
put me at a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
You do it?
Yeah.
All right, so you hit, and you have a weapon 4, right?
Yep.
This thing has an armor 3, so it is going to reduce the damage to some extent. But you slash it.
Sweet.
Awesome. Alright. Well,
Lhanji.
then on its turn, it's
Did Lhanji go?
Yeah.
Well,
used
no,
my
teamwork.
turn
Sorry.
to teamwork.
teamwork, yeah. It's attacking, I don't know, either Alexi or Navius here. Yes! I got an 8. Yeah, I got an 8 so far on that, and it's coming for either of you two. Who wants to take the defense?
I'll take the. You defended last time.
Yeah.
I'll defend this time.
No, actually, it's coming for Alexi. I'm choosing.
Okay. And then how much was it?
Sorry,
You're good.
changed my mind. And this is because you're jumping up and swinging at it,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's and because I've already damaged you, so I'm trying to deal some damage here. I'm an 8 right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, that's terrible. I think I should probably re-roll that.
Agreed.
-3.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be. I'm going to tap Rugged Sellsword, completing his son's pilgrimage.
Yep. Ah, writing in that new part. Yeah,
Mhm.
love it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Aspect type.
Aspect type! I forgot about the aspect type button.
New aspect height.
New aspect types.
Spam
Cool.
all the buttons you
verbose.
have.
All right,
Yeah,
re-roll. Well, that's slightly better.
Shoot.
Go by 1.
Dang it.
All right, so that puts me at a 2 then, and you're at a 7. 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have 5 I have
8.
to deal with.
I'm an 8.
They're at an 8,
Mm-hmm.
so I have 6 to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think you have 8 to deal with because I'm tapping massive Arctic ambushing insect.
Okay.
Did
Because
Josh pay
it's
out?
almost 10 o'clock. I paid out,
Yeah.
yeah. I also had less tokens because I had
Some juicy,
stunts.
juicy stunts.
Do you have any left?
nope.
Okay.
That's how you play a monster. Go big or go home.
Mhm.
Yeah, seriously.
One big monster, too.
Yeah.
So it's gotta
Designed
have
to die.
everything.
Okay. And we can't share the damage at all. It has to be a character that's connected to mine, right?
Well,
Unless
yeah,
it's these
you
nameless guys.
or your NPC or Babs or one of the remaining horses, right? Like, yeah, I feel like you can't pass it off to like
Yeah.
one of their main NPCs,
Right. Okay.
But like Babs maybe is still in this area and was trying to get away, and this thing.
That's the only reason I was asking. Even gonna
We
go
don't
down
have a
that
card
line of
anymore.
That's
Okay.
true.
So what?
It's
Get rid of
true.
another horse? That'd be only 2.
No, I'm saying Babs.
Babs.
Oh.
Babs
Babs.
is the the fat to trim now.
Yeah, I need to pull up the book to see what the I need the
Don't look-
horror toolkit.
I don't know how to navigate that one, so that's on you.
Yeah. Daniel had the paperwork for the trading thing before.
Because I'm gonna assume I'll eat like 4 and figure out what to do with the remaining.
How many would be remaining? 4?
If I eat 4, you'll have 4 left.
That would kill 2 like nameless NPCs.
You
Or
could kill our
just give-
2 horses.
I say go for Babs.
How many
Yeah.
is Babs worth?
Babs
though?
would die.
Is Babs the same as a horse? Or
No,
one
he's
step
like one
above?
step above.
Okay,
if
so
you wanna
instead
kill
of taking a moderate consequence, you can have a supporting NPC take an extreme consequence.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
so it would go
effectively
from 4
dead.
to 6. It would be effectively.
Or instead of you taking a severe consequence, you can have a supporting NPC die horribly. So
Yeah.
instead of taking 6 damage, it could just be like this thing fucking
Yeah, they'll eat up
consumes,
6.
swallows like Babs whole. Right in this
Or you could take 4 and give him a 6 would be an extreme
Man,
consequence.
use the 6 to have Babs get eaten.
yeah, I think
Use
so
the
too,
I
man.
think absolutely.
You cool with
I
that?
would
Yes.
rather not get like
All right.
mangled for life by this thing. I would rather get straight up swallowed.
Yeah, and what's the point
Yeah.
of having somebody take an extreme consequence if you can have them just die horribly instead and not take
Babs
it?
got
right?
knocked
And,
out.
like,
That's
we
more
don't.
fun.
Narratively, it's way crazier.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, so
Babs
then
the same as a horse.
No.
Dolph we had somewhere like Babs would literally just be like limping along in utter suffering.
Yeah,
I think this is a
it's
mercy
it's
kill.
better for
Yeah,
Babs
yeah.
to
So
die.
I think that the cart was burst up out of the ground. When this thing burst up out of the ground, the cart was knocked over, horses flailing everywhere. It threw one of the horses aside, and Babs was on the ground and like in kind of the middle of the scuffle of all of this. Navius boosted up Alexei. He took a swing. And when this thing came down, actually, I think lunging for Alexei, Babs was like getting up and trying to get out of the way.
Yeah,
and-
I
and-
gotta run, and then
Oh.
he
And it just-
gets him by the legs, huh?
I think like just
It's
right
just
onto
like-
the body, just like it is coming for Alexei, but like
Right.
Babs is right there, right? And can swallow whole. So because it's dying horribly, I'm just going for the whole mechanic of like its mouth is so big that it grabs onto him and like a snake or something, you know, like puts its head back and like throws it down, and it's like burning.
Yes.
Right, like
It's
the-
like partially
the steam
translucent skin,
and-
so you can see him on the inside screaming and being like,
Yeah.
"Ah," like burning alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can still see the form of Babs in its throat.
I see it
kicking.
slide along as I'm like, oh god!
Mhm.
Fuck.
So that happened.
And now,
Alright.
and everybody died.
All right, Furla's up, huh? The snow vine bursts from the ground. Yes, and
Snow
and
vine.
as this
Take some of your own.
as this thing is like lunging and swallowing whole, the snow vine like bursts out and hits it like head first. It just like, even though it's way smaller than it, it's going for it, and it's attacking with stealth using its sneak attack thing and burrow, bursting from its burrow.
It's like the ant taking on the bee or whatever in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Right?
It would have been cool
What did
if
it
like
take on?
I have a
this is what the
5.
snow vines
got a
eventually
6.
matured into.
Nice.
Yeah, but we didn't know it.
All right.
And a weapon 3.
Okay.
Did he get it?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Did some damage at least.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a bite.
Yes.
Awesome.
Establish the true pecking order.
And I think it just like latches on like right here on its face and is just like messing with its eyeball.
Snowvine is
So
about
that's-
to single-handedly shift the evolutionary trajectory of this
Yes.
biome.
It's learning a few things. It's gonna eat it and gain its powers.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sentient tree forms
Just like piling these
overtaking
miniatures
itself.
on.
It's a big one, man.
Totally. That's great. All right, Ash.
I'm gonna try something. Tay steps up,
Ooh.
sort of gives a bit of a wry look to. Tries to make eye contact with Lhanji, I guess. Give a wry sort
Yeah,
of
if-
smile.
Taya's stepping. Lhanji would certainly notice someone
She's
stepping into
slowly.
the fighting zone.
She's like
and
slowly
if it's
walking
Tay,
up.
there's like a start of horror.
And
Ooh,
looks
this
sober.
moment, I would argue that since you didn't mechanically
That's
get
why I brought
anything
it
out of
back to the
yes,
table.
Yes.
I was like, this needs to come
Yeah,
back to the
erased.
table.
Chance to prove herself.
She steps up, gives Lhanji a little bit of a wry smile. She lifts up her hands and just looks directly, tries to look as this thing is like squeezing Babs down. inferno of a gullet, attempts to look directly at its eyes, and just bring it. Just try. She's going to try and enchant the creature,
It.
and basically bring it into a stupor, into a daze. This is slow. It's like, yikes. Okay, well, I guess not a yikes, but
Probably +4.
that is +3. I'm gonna go chance to prove yourself and hit it up to a +5.
I think Alexi was on the right line of thinking here with how I built this monster, and also kind of in keeping in the spirit of the D&D Remoraz and insect creatures in general, that they are like unintelligent to the degree that like I don't think enchantment magic would work on them. Yeah, they certainly can't be like reasoned with or like there's no communicating with them. They're basically like immune to like mental effects, I feel like, right? Certainly like provoke and like.
Would he have at least known that with his initial academics roll?
No, because he rolled a 2 and and chose not to do anything more.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sucks, but I absolutely would have given that to you if you had boosted more on that academics
on the
roll.
Academics. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll allow you to spend the point now to have known that, to get to do something different now if you want to.
While that debate is happening,
somebody else to give them a boost.
we need to check in on our roster here real quick, y'all.
Like that. I feel like it would be cool if this is a high enough. You boost it to a 5. I think it would be cool if you could just change the enchantment inadvertently send someone into a berserk or something. You know, like change.
Kind of like juicing them or something. You know what I mean?
The spell she casts into an advantage.
Create an
for
advantage instead.
Allies.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Bolster someone's confidence. You could definitely do that with
does sound
enchantment.
cool. Let's do that.
Give Alexi a bug brain.
All right, back to like. All right, rewind like 10 seconds. She still casts a wry smile at Tay because at Lhanji. Because at this point she's like, I'm going to pull Lhanji.
And what just happened was what Lhanji was afraid was going to happen, and this is what actually happened.
Right. She sort of calls Alexi's name, like shouts it as he's sort of like seeing not Dolph. Dolph is safe. Babs getting fucking calls Alexi's name and looks into his eyes and just sort of like raises her hands and just like. Rage.
All of a sudden,
Rage.
flicker in his eye.
And I feel like we joked about a Jimothy and creature crossover earlier. And now
I do feel like it'll
face.
cost you a fate point to have boosted, to have known that information, to have told you not to try to enchant it. If that's cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. What could it be like flavor-wise that you've convinced me that Jimothy's face is on this giant worm, and I'm just like, you son of a bitch!
Yes, perfect.
Well,
I feel like it's like if we were to like shoot, like do a shot of this like phase enchanting, like goes into like Alexi's face, and suddenly deep down there's like this little like flame inside of Alexi that's just like all the anger of all like the death and like finding his dead son and like his best friend now just being found dead and like all this shit. Jimothy slitting Jimothy's throat and everything, and it's just like now's the time, and it just like
cool.
Unleash the beast.
Alright,
Awesome.
Cool.
So that's gonna be the boost. The
Unleash the beast.
Unleash the beast.
Yes. Awesome. Alexi, what are you gonna unleash the beast?
Man, now I kind of feel like I'm obligated to.
You also, if you wanted to, like you had talked about holding before, you could let Lhanji go first if you wanted to.
So I guess let me just ask this before I
And this will be probably our last round for the night, and then we'll
okay.
just be like pausing this combat halfway through.
I was gonna say regarding like fog of blades, if I could use a smoke screen as like a defensive thing, or if that's if not, I'll just go and unleash.
I mean, using just conjuration to create.
Just to create a fog.
Sure.
It's still like fog of blades, but I'm using it as like a defensive measure.
Sure.
Is that okay? Because I was gonna do that, or I guess just attack again. I just hate to like just I'm gonna attack every round, but I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
Dude,
Attack
you're
every round.
enraged.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Alexi is
I kind of
enraged
feel like I
now.
have to now.
And I will use teamwork again.
Okay, yeah, let's do it then.
I feel
Gotta
like you
get
should
the hits
stick
so
the
we can
sword
beat 'em.
into Babs so that you can give Babs an actual, a quick death rather than being burned alive inside the stomach.
Well,
Yuck.
should have stuck with the fog of blades. All right, so I have a 2 right now, plus
2
the 1.
plus Assist, yeah.
Puts it at 3.
And then
That would
that
be
would
a
put me at
5,
5.
and it's still not that juicy.
You can
Oh, well,
you
I
can
did- I
use
didn't
fate
roll
tokens
well.
to invoke stuff too, because like the entangle.
Yeah.
I got a 4.
Okay, well,
So
yeah,
you-
ooh, use a token to
yeah. If I free
succeed
the
with
beast,
style.
I'd get a 5. Oh yeah, succeeding with style. Would that cause any
Just add more damage.
Yeah.
more damage? Okay. Yeah, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
hell yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, I do, I am gonna, I guess, can I still use my positive relationship as my aspect? I'm seeing Jim
I mean, like entangled and like other
I'll
stuff
just,
that
Entangled's
was
fine. I'll
like
use
it had already been used, but
Yeah.
it was an aspect, so it's still out
I'll,
there.
I'll spend the
Yeah.
fate point for Entangled.
Entangled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you at right now?
That puts me at a 7.
A 7. So you're 3 over.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm just hoping this was actually like did more damage.
Yeah, I feel like Navius engages some of the legs and gives you a clean shot.
All right, I'll give you a consequence here, and it'll be one that you'll be able to invoke.
It was like
for free.
on your next turn for free.
I did fine. Yeah.
So what do you want it to be? It's a moderate consequence, like you've.
Well, I would have been going for like the face if I saw Jimothy's stupid cackling fucking gold tooth.
Split maw.
How about like severed mandible or something like that?
yeah,
right? 'Cause
yeah,
it's got
just
these,
like-
like you just like slice
I
off
like that.
a couple of them or something.
Yeah, he's been eating all of her friends whole, and that'll make it a little bit harder.
To eat
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Slice it.
Oh.
Yeah, you could certainly invoke that against it when it attacks, right?
Yeah, that too.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. I like severed mandible.
Sweet. That sounds metal.
Sliced or whatever it was.
And I'm just like sitting here like, enough talk out of you! And people are like, what the fuck's up with her?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Lhanji?
I used teamwork. Navius
Oh, okay.
cleared the shot for Alexi.
Back up to the top.
Yeah. Do you guys want to go another round?
Yeah, let's do one more round.
Okay.
We can take it down. We
Yeah,
got this.
Ready.
Yeah, it's not that far off, and it,
Let's wrap it up.
It might retreat after that
do it.
point.
Let's
So
put a little bow in it.
all right. So I'm taking another attack here. I don't have any more fate points.
Who's it going after?
That's a great question. I should say that before I attack.
Alexi just cut him up.
Yeah, man. I think it's just coming for you, Alexi. Sorry.
was like, can you sneak any more deaths in?
Ooh, dang it.
Damn.
Yay!
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you, chat. Gravity well. Gravity well. Works in
Alright.
our favor.
Well,
like the man.
I only got a 3.
Well,
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow.
What?
Critical failure.
What?
Well, what is your total?
1.
A
Do you have
1,
any
so you
tokens
could
left?
tap the severed mandible.
Do you re-roll that
Use a
shit?
token.
I'll tap this the severed mandible. Do I have to spend a token? For
No,
that,
it's
or-
free.
Okay,
And then you
cool.
can reroll
And then-
with that if you want to. Because it's the same as invoking an aspect.
Yeah, exactly. You could instead of doing 2 different, you could re-roll with it.
What was your total again? A 3?
I was at a 3.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Good. Yeah.
You can beat that.
Cannot do worse than
Right?
minus 4.
Very unlikely.
That's better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
Almost the opposite.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, I think defending with style gives you a boost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, just keep this party rolling.
Yeah, so it comes in and tries to grab onto you, but because you had sliced off this mandible, it doesn't have like grip on one side quite, right? So you are able to slide out of the way,
boost.
and you have some sort of a boost. You're in a good position or something.
Write a B instead of an asterisk. I know this is weird, but the asterisk supplies that it's a condition or a.
I want to
aspect,
say
yeah.
as it was sliding by or coming down right at me, I actually just like grabbed one of its little like I don't know
Antenna
things,
yeah.
feelers and used it to hoist myself up on top of it for a good position.
Yes.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Epic.
Mounted.
Ride the snake.
Ride the snake.
Wait, it's not a snake. It's a
Ride the bug.
Centipede.
Ride the res.
Ride the
res.
The bug.
snake.
Ride the snake.
Yeah, there you go.
Ride the snake.
Meh.
Ride the snake.
Ride the peed. The peed master.
Verla is using nature magic to like just make the snow vine like unfurl in a bunch of directions. Like it's this vine that's all wrapped up tight, and it's just making it like turn into a web of like bursting it open, and using nature magic to like make it more of like a net. And I'm just creating an advantage and adding to entangle, but with cool fluff.
I like to think we like saw a bunch of like half-rotted corpses spring loose.
Spray out, yeah. Whoop. Whoops. Including some that you didn't recognize. I got a 5 on that.
This is an attack.
It's
It's an
creating an
advantage.
advantage, yeah.
Oh.
against
Continuing the entangled.
Okay, gotcha.
Athletics would
So
be, yeah.
athletics. I got a 6.
it. Damn it. Can I take a consequence in order to
It's legs.
mitigate the difference? Like, can I take a mild consequence to add a +2? Like, because I'm like working really hard at it.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm benevolent.
Actually, can I throw it? Can I?
It is benevolent, I know.
Can I throw it to the snow vine because it makes more like narrative sense, and then up it to the next tier because
Sure.
that is mechanically all right. So he's unraveled because I did this, right?
Yeah.
As a
Nice.
moderate consequence. So now
You're-
it's like
you're
more
using
just like
this-
a weird like.
Furla's like
It has to
pulling
come
the
back
snow
together.
vine apart to like
Yes.
utilize its parts.
And it's like
in
dread
doing
like
so.
you're like dreadlocks or something that you kind of like it's all frayed and weird, and
I like it.
it's not like concise anymore.
I like
Yeah, that's actually really
This is
cool.
horrifying.
Yeah. But I created it, or I add another box to Entangled. I don't know where Entangled went.
Is it on the other side of initiative? Oh, here it is.
Is this a aspect too?
already did
Here.
ride the beast, ride the lightning.
Unleash the beast. But if it's an aspect, then it sticks around. You can still pay for it.
Spread it on that side too. Cool.
Mangled mandible. Oh,
Alright.
that's what we should have called it.
Mangled Mandible. Yeah.
Ash.
Perfect.
Are we above the terrain? Are we like at this point on solid ground, or are we on like an ice?
No, you're
iced
you're on
ocean?
solid ground. This is closer actually to like Antarctica than it is to North Pole.
The North Pole.
It's more South
So it's
Pole
basically
than
it's
North
basically
Pole because there's
land
actually
surrounded
land
by water, not
underneath it.
water surrounded by land.
big difference. There is actual ground beneath you, but you are on like a massive ice shelf, right, in huge glaciers that are probably, yeah, I mean, many meters of solid ice.
Right.
I think a Remoraz is a water Pokemon, so you should use lightning against it.
Thank you. I was literally thinking like,
That's
should I suggest
That's what I was
like,
thinking.
to use
I'm
the
trying.
lightning on?
I'm trying
on the
very hard
blade?
not to metagame.
I call Pikachu. Raichu, go! Sorry.
You could charge up a weapon or something.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's do that. So
Sweet.
I will. Ash steps up by Tay and sends out a magic bolt to as Alexi is riding on top of this thing, he sends out a magical bolt to wrap around Alexi's great sword to attempt to create an aspect.
Okay.
Alexi's sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Well, this shit is turning out fucking metal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a 3.
All right, I think we need so
Alexi needs to be up
consumed.
here.
I think Alexi needs to be on top of it now, mounted on. Yeah, sword raised in the air.
So
with
as
lightning.
he raises the sword in the air,
I have the power!
He was poised, ready to plunge it down, and all of a sudden there's like this static electricity.
What's the
Yeah.
aspect?
Air stands on end.
Well, did I get a 3? That would be a 3. I can spend a point to do it. Fuck it, I'll spend a point to do it.
Do it.
I'll go 5.
That seems
5. I will
reasonable.
go. Yeah, gifted young ecologist. I will. So you see some sparks, and then suddenly from Ash's hands, sort of like coiling, is like this lightning, but it's dark. It's black. It's like black
Yes.
light that comes coiling down and just wraps around your sword as you hold it up in the air.
Yes, that is so epic.
It is.
You're like doing this, and it's wrapping around his sword as he's striking.
I'm Ash's following Tay in this Tay's idea in this one. I need an aspect, and it's
Teamwork
going to
and
be
trust.
Lightning sword! Storm sword!
it's going to be
Ooh,
black.
Storm
lightning.
Sword is.
Ooh, Storm Sword is really good.
Yeah. Sorry, I literally do this all day long.
I like that. Mangled
You're
Mandible and
professional.
Storm Sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just stack up the buffs, people. Let's do it.
This sword's got to go right through the back of this thing's head.
All right, Alexi and Lhanji,
Hell yeah.
is Navius just continuing to aid?
I just want you to knock this out of the park.
Yes. The plus
Continue
one.
to aid. Continue to aid.
Plus
All right,
one.
another +1 from.
Navius is, I imagine just like
Navius.
tiny rapier. Spear there.
Navius is doing distracting footwork at
Yeah.
the bottom to get it off
Totally.
It's like spraying like acid blood.
Acid blood.
I got a good defense roll. Uh-oh.
Or molten blood. It's hot blood, right?
Come on.
All right, so that's
Good roll.
Yes.
6 plus a 1. That's a 7. Plus
I'm-
this storm.
I'm at an
sword.
8 right now.
Oh, yeah. Tap them
The
both.
storm sword will put me at a 9.
Hell yeah.
And then I still have the ride the snake, which will put
Do
me
it.
at
Yes.
an
Hell
11.
yeah.
I'd also like to do the
Oh, and
foster
entangled.
father figure, which will put me at 2 more. That puts me at what, 13? Plus the
13.
entangled was it 15?
15.
Fuck yeah.
Do you?
Wait, you gotta describe it. You gotta describe it.
Well,
What are you
I'm
doing?
waiting to see if I kill it.
Because we have to describe it in order to include every aspect.
Well, okay, so it has armor 3, but certainly, I mean, so right now I think you're 7. There's a 7 difference, right?
Mhm.
With an armor 3, it normally would be capping the amount of damage that you're doing at 3.
Oh.
You're definitely, at the very least, you're doing 5 damage because of the electric sword would be like ignoring its armor, right?
Okay. Well, then
the
I can,
last two I'm not certain about, but
I can roll back.
I mean, the aspects probably go beyond the 3, right? I don't know.
I don't
how that armor works.
I don't know how that's supposed to work with that either. 7. Yeah. It is not going to be dead, but it's going to be close. Well, we might as well. It's so close that I might as well just say that you're taking it out here. So let's just go with it.
Just take it out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, man, there's a lot here. All right, so
You're riding on the back of it. It's set
Yeah.
up perfectly.
It's
riding on
entangled
the
by
back of
the
it.
by the frayed snow vine that has been like forcibly grown into a bunch of roots that are like wrapping around this thing.
Yeah, it's like whipping around, going,
Yeah.
and then like all of a sudden the webbing kind of like is like,
Navius is ducking and weaving it and like poking it.
it's like trying. Yeah, it's trying
The
to. Like,
beast
go
has
after
been
Navius.
unleashed inside of you from Tay.
I'm just like full of rage, and as I'm like lifting up my my sword to just plunge it down, I think
Yeah,
back
electricity
to that
down the
Black
blade.
lightning.
that moment of all the anger and the trust, and I just want to just like, I just want to pull it down, but then all of a sudden I start to feel my the hairs on my arms like go up, and I hear the
and Furla touches it.
and I'm looking up because I'm hearing the electricity. I look over and I
muscles.
see Ash is conjuring this thing, and suddenly I realize all in this one moment.
Yes.
It's
Fuck
in
yeah.
slow motion.
Yeah.
Shot.
That even despite my accusations and my outbursts of distrust of everybody, I realize that even though all of us have checkered pasts, we've all come together, and whether we like it or not, we're a family at this point. So I'm putting my faith, my life, in everyone else's hands once again, and as I plunge it down,
I think
right at the same moment,
Yes.
black lightning from the sky
Hell
just
yeah.
like pierces right through, and it travels all along the segments of the centipede thing, and you're just seeing it blast out between each segment.
You also see Babs' skeleton in there for a moment from
Yeah.
the electricity.
Yeah.
Right?
Just give me clothes.
Yeah. And I guess as we've done it, it's now just like a smoking, like, I don't know, hot mess, and it's like just collapses, and I like
Yeah,
tumble
just-
down
just-
through
I
it.
imagine
Steam.
you ride it all the way down like Legolas and just sort of like
Yeah, exactly.
Do-
just
do like a
riding it
swirl.
down, and then just jumping off and doing a little tumble. At the last
you
second.
do
Yes.
a more rugged tumble. Don't do some pansy.
no
Okay,
can't
fine.
do Legolas.
So just
Do it like Aragorn. Fall down but get back up.
okay,
Bitch.
fine.
Or does
commit
this
to that.
does like the root of the snow vine create a little stair step for you to
Elegantly.
Oh, it's I fall and I'm about to like eat it, and then like Vine is like
yeah.
grab it, and then gently like I guess allows me to swing down and land on my butt.
And then it like just unfurls away from this smoking thing and then just falls in this like knitted heap of frayed roots on the ground.
Well,
Hell yeah.
nice. It was pretty cool.
Epic!
Sick.
Well.
That's some fake core combat for you guys.
Yeah, we got it.
Stack those buffs.
There it is. Get it at your local game store now.
Your fake core!
Well, yeah, 3 more things just died there.
Yeah.
4 more things.
Yeah, let's check in with our roster right now,
Roster.
which doesn't include horses, but 2 horses also died. Furthermore, we also lost Babs, who's on the end of the deceased
Babs.
list. Yeah.
You sang a few songs. Or you
And the
yeah, you sang
wagon.
a few songs.
And the wagon.
No waggy.
Also, we got a dessert hype in there,
Woo!
which warmed my heart.
What's dessert?
It's trust, but backwards.
When
Oh.
it
For the
became,
camera.
it became
I
a
see.
major theme in another campaign.
Feel cold
But
out.
yeah, we didn't transpose the
Oh, I see.
words,
Okay.
so when we held it up to the cameras, and
Dessert.
It's the lesson of Jade Colossus. But in any case, wonderful,
Yeah.
Sick.
epic. Is there any loot in its gullet?
wow.
We cut all the loot out of its
And
gullet.
it's smoking.
Yeah, an insect mandible.
I'm
Like,
gonna do just.
We have to eat it, guys. We have to eat it. This is not a human. There's no doubt about this. We eat it. It's already cooking itself.
I don't want to eat that bug.
Dude, it probably tastes like lobster.
It probably does taste like lobster.
I mean, if you look at like a crab or a lobster, that's just a sea bug.
It's true.
And
So,
we eat it. We
crawfish.
pay top dollar for bugs that just swim in the ocean.
So to leave us on a like kind of cliffhanger for next week, we will be traveling for several more days before reaching the North Pole. But this is kind of a like flash forward or something of you guys finally getting to the point where you see something, a break in all of the kind of mundane flatness of this, and you are approaching a mountain that is at the North Pole and flying around it. So far off here, they look like tiny birds and flecks on the horizon, but they are dragons flying around the mountain. And you hear dragons. Perhaps the strangest part of it all is that you hear this bizarre sound that is coming from the mountain. This
Yes.
humming,
yes,
this chorus.
yes, 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 yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, this is what we
Yeah,
came for.
and this is the shot of all of you guys standing here and like looking at this mountain and the dragons flying around it, and you guys hearing the sound. You're miles and miles and miles away, and you're hearing this sound, and it's so loud that it's almost like you feel like that. It's like resonating in your chest, right?
a bass in
Mhm.
someone else's car
Mm-hmm.
No.
that you can still feel in your bloodstream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's like dark clouds surfacing. It's like a Larry Elmore portrait.
Yeah.
painting,
Yeah. Totally.
right?
Yeah.
Where we're like all like
Exactly.
we're all like on the cliffside looking out with
Yeah.
like
I
our
like with
weapons.
our-
Yes.
Strangely pushing our chests forward.
I know, all the lady warriors. The lady warriors are particularly buxom.
Chainmail bikini.
Awesome.
That was what Timothy was wearing.
So that's it. We got a couple of games to hype, Keith.
I'm playing on a Tuesday stream with Unmade Gaming. Check that out on Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard, for a Numenera Horizon Zero Dawn campaign where I'm playing a very Jimothy-like character
Nice.
that the whole party also hates.
Yeah!
It's great.
Yeah!
And Wednesday we're playing Machine God, Slaves of the Machine God, which is a Numenera ongoing, like a long 200-page module that we're running through, and have joyously constructed some wonderful elements of our new settlement that we've just created, including a fountain with an antagonistic fountain that creates its own water out of nothingness with an antagonistic personality, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And then, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I'll be on Unmade Gaming's charity stream doing a She-Ra Masters of Umdar,
Nice.
Princesses of Umdar
Cool.
one-off, which is going to be epic.
That's fun.
So
I
stay
want to see
tuned
more
for
of
that.
Masters of Umdar.
I
is
love
so
it.
much fun.
It's so great. Rolling all those random weird, like, I'm a half lobster, half robot. It's like perfect. It's the best. Roll your character on a table.
Oh
It's
man.
the best.
I want
We'll
to
have
bring
more.
back Devo, man.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
And thanks for tuning in. We're about to raid someone wonderful, Legends of Evantris, who, y'all, they're just magical, and they're just doing the same table to a crazy level, and I think they're still on. So, until next week, it's been a joy and a pleasure.
Bye bye.